Blessings, divinity. How are you? How are you? Welcome to Spiritual and Power Hour with me, Nahkila Isha of Ashworth Life Sculpting. I am so glad that you are here. I'm going to give you all a little bit of time to roll on in. And then what we're going to do is get right into it. And then after we're done with the general message for the collective, we're then going to go into the personal reading. So, come on with it. Come on with it. And you know what? As I'm waiting for you all to roll in, what I'm going to do is start with Deaja's reading. Remember the last time we had Empower Hour, I asked you all what was the one thing that I always say regarding my free will. And I say it all the time, but Deaja was the only one who put it in the comments. So what that is I choose to execute my free will as if I have none. And what that means is when spirit guides me, whatever spirit guides me to do, I do it regardless of my human hangups. By operating like this, I'm guaranteed to be able to be in my power to create the life that I choose and the life that I absolutely deserve, right? So she got it correct. So she's the one that gets the free reading, and she asked for a general. So I'm going to go ahead and start there to give you all an opportunity to roll on, okay? What message do you have for Deaja? Hey, y'all. Welcome. Leave me a comment. Let me know who just joined. I was sharing that I'm going to start with the reading that Deaja won from our last Empower Hour. So that way it gives you all an opportunity to roll on in. But let me know who's here. Let me know. Okay, yep, I did just mess up y'all eardrums. I know. So, Angel of Healing, the angels have felt your sadness and have shown up today to send you healing. Again, y'all, this is for Deaja. This is the reading that she won. Angel of Abundance, a steady flow of abundance is about to manifest. This is so incredible and so in alignment, just knowing what she's going through, so in alignment. So basically, the things that you're going through right now, you have support from the angelic realm. The way you've been handling your sadness lately has been very healthy, right? And they're just expressing that they're proud of you for shifting out of that lower vibrating frequency that you were once in. That frequency was very dangerous to you and to your energetic field. And what that frequency did was it set you back a bit, right? Now, with that being said, although you've been set back a bit, it doesn't have any bearing on how quickly you can manifest the things that you're choosing, the things you require, and the things that you desire, right? I'm also hearing deserve. It's important for you to understand that. It's just a matter of you. I'm hearing staying on your grind, staying on your hustle, and continuing to push forward with that knowing that spirit has you. But one of the things you're being called to do is self-reflect, right? How do you get to this abundance that the card is speaking of? It's important to self-reflect, right? How am I showing up in a way that is blocking my blessings, that is blocking my bliss, and that is blocking my ability to create what is required in this next chapter, create the abundance that I'm seeking, right? That I require. Now, here's the other thing that's coming in too. Everything is about timing. Now, we talk about timing and how timing here in the 3D is different than timing in the spiritual realm. But what they're referring to in regards to timing is the importance of acting immediately. When you receive the guidance, it's about not procrastinating, doing it in that timing, right? Because as you've learned, messages are fluid, right? And if you have received a message and you wait a week, a month, a year later, that message may know, I'm hearing both may not and may no longer be in alignment with your path, right? So it's important that you're acting immediately. Rest assured that we've got you. Rest assured that you will be taken care of in exact alignment. And I'm hearing both exact and direct reflection of how you're showing up for you. Be guided in all things. Do what you now, child. You got this right, which is why you got the free reading today. Doing what you're guided to do as you're guided to do it, right? This has come up for you. So the fact that you're the one who got the only one who got this correct, right? It's important for you to execute that. No coincidences there. You know, right? You know the teachings, you know what's required, but now it's about having the self-discipline to do it. Okay. So that is your message. Thank you so much for allowing me to serve you. And yeah, let's see who all. Hey, Sharon. I left you a message on Voxer and I was about to leave. I heard yours and I responded, but I was about to leave you another message, basically reiterating what I said at the end. Okay. Cause it's just like my spirit and my soul is like, it's time, girl. It's time. So if you didn't listen to it, listen to it. I miss my sister, y'all. Okay. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Mom. Thank you for getting on with me, talking to me. Because you guys, I am feeling, oh, gosh, I'm just feeling a mixture of things. And I was thinking about what my sister Sharon said during our session together because, Sharon is on the Ashworth Scott Life Sculpting team as a life coach and an energy healer. And I actually have sessions with both members of the Ashworth Scott Life Sculpting team monthly. So Sharon and I had our first session, and, I have sessions with Jillian as well, the shaman on our team. And one of the things that Sharon mentioned that was coming through was the importance of me like having a sabbatical regularly, right? And the thing is that had come up before, like Spirit has told me that directly, right? And so like it's no coincidence it came up when it did, because I am feeling like my physical vessel is requiring that sabbatical. It's like I'm in process of allowing it to be revealed to me exactly what I'm requiring right now, because energetically I just feel like a reset. That's the best way I can put it, a reset, right? And it's not anything like going on in my personal space, it's my energy, right? It's my physical vessel. So sometimes there's a difference between our life, right? The life happenings, right? Our personal, our spiritual, emotional, physical, right? They all have their own category. And sometimes it can be one of those aspects or all of those aspects at the same time. But sometimes it can just be our energy requires a reset. Like our physical vessel gets to the point where it's like, okay, time to just run away and recharge, come back anew, right? That's where my vessel is right now. And so, yeah, because there's so many great shifts happening in my life right now that is just amazing. But then there's also a lot of shedding happening. We've been talking about that in the soul family, about all the shedding. And then there's also just when I say what I'm feeling is a reset in general, right? So it's just, listen, y'all, it's just that little sabbatical that came through. I feel it. I feel it. It resonated then, but I'm really feeling it even more so now. So y'all, if you have y'all even clicked on the link that's in the description box? Click on it and take a peek at what's going on over there, because I highly recommend, if you have not had a session with Jillian and you have not worked with Sharon, I recommend that you do. And if you're interested in working with me or even attending a retreat, we actually have spiritual happy hour happening this month. We have our day retreat happening in May, and then we have our all-inclusive retreat. So there's still spots. So if you're interested, click it and just, holla at your girl. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so now I'm going to get into the messages for us as a collective. What do you have for us as a collective? Both of these. Okay. I really, top and bottom, I really like this deck. I was over at my case like, okay, what deck do I choose? And first I was guided to that side, which is my right side. And then I was guided to this deck. I haven't used it in a while, but it's actually really beautiful. I had no idea what it looked like no more. It's been so long. Okay, so it says Goddess of Reflections. The qualities you see in others are simply your own reflection. And there's another message that was coming in with this card that I'm going to also share. We also have Goddess or God of Indulgence. It's all right. Stop beating yourself up. A little indulgence and balance is healthy, Mom. I know they're speaking of more than just mama, but y'all, listen, y'all know Spirit would like call folks out sometimes. She got the message though, like she's got it herself already, but that was just a reminder. Goddess of Beauty, you are a wondrous being of light. There is nothing to change or fix. Oh, and that goes with that second message too. There's nothing to change or fix, right? Elevation is not the same as change and fix. Let's be clear, right? It is not the same as saying I am choosing to elevate, being guided into elevating is not the same as you have something to fix and there is something wrong, right? Sometimes we get the two mixed up. We feel like it's all one and the same, and it's not. Angels of families. The angels are surrounding both you and your family at the moment. And as I see this, it also reminds me of a message that came in yesterday. I believe it was yesterday in the Soul family as well. So Sharon said, "Yes, ma'am. I'm so grateful that you're choosing a sabbatical reset." Yes, I'm feeling it in my energy today. Actually, right before I got on, I was talking to my mom, and it's just like, I can feel it. When I start to feel a little irritable, and I'm pretty patient and pretty, typically, but when I start to feel that, I know like it's not my norm, so it's time. Like it's just I feel it. I can't even fully put into words. I can just feel it. I feel it. Like I just feel like going somewhere but nowhere at all and just, recharging, I guess you could say. Okay, so God of Reflections. So this card specifically is saying the qualities you see in others are also within you. But before I read that, what was coming in was we are right now in a time of self-reflecting, right? It is so, y'all. How often has this come up? This has come up so much lately where Spirit has been saying to us, it is time for you to get to know you on a deeper level. And not many of us are actually putting in the time and energy to do that, right? Even on our healing journey. Again, we may think I'm on my healing journey alone. So that in and of itself is me doing that. Well, yeah, to a degree, but Spirit is saying go deeper because sometimes on our healing journey, when things come up, right, we're not actually exploring what's coming up. And there are situations where you don't require a full understanding in order to heal it and get past it. But then there are some where you do. And right now, we're in a season where it is so important for us to know who we are. Know who we are on a soul level. Like, who am I really? Who am I outside of all of the outside mess? Right? All of the stuff that's not mine. Who am I on that level? And so oftentimes we're so focused on I'm healing to elevate, which is code in our unconscious sometimes to I'm healing so I can receive, right? And then you fill in the blank what that is you're choosing to receive, you know? But if we could just say, you know what? I'm choosing to get to know me. And through getting to know me, I'll recognize what's not me. And then it becomes easier to release what's not me. Because when I'm attached to a way that I've been operating and I'm identifying it as me, it's a little tougher to release that because it's something different just on the vibrational frequency, feeling wise, when we understand this is not me and I'm choosing to release it versus this is me. I identify as this and I'm being guided that it serves my highest good to release it. That's a little bit different, right? It almost feel like cutting off a finger as opposed to just saying, "Oh, there's a finger in my hand. It's not mine. Here you go." It's going to be real easy to take a finger that's right here and give it to whomever it belongs or just toss it cuz it ain't yours versus "Ugh," right? It don't matter how spirit led you are and how committed you are, you gonna still be like, So yeah, that's the difference, y'all. That's the difference. Okay, let me see what y'all are saying. Um, Sharon said, I love and miss you too, sis. Very beautiful deck. I love it. This is the deck. It's Angels and Goddesses. Tony Carmine Salerno. The message of self-reflection is definitely hitting. My mom said, I concur. For the first time, I'm getting to know me. Sharon said, preach. Yes, let me tell you. And if y'all recall, and you may not, some of you may, but we've been getting these messages for the past couple of years during Empower Hour and even in the Soul Family, right? And now we're in the season of what those messages were referring to. Energetically, what I feel, how many of y'all have been feeling tired lately? Like just kind of just tired, like just, oh, I'm tired. And you like, I just woke up. I mean, or is that just me? Like, I just woke up. like an hour ago. Why am I tired? And I slept. Why am I tired? Right. But Spirit and I were having a talk, and Spirit was saying it's the collective. It's like we can still be disconnected from claiming the frequency that's most present right now. However, it's heavy energy. And so the word hibernation came up. It's like our vessel is like, let me just hibernate and sleep through this shit, right? And that's what we're feeling. And we're also feeling what everyone else is feeling. And especially when we have an awareness, like, I'm not choosing fear, I'm not choosing doubt, I'm not choosing hopelessness, I'm not choosing anger, I'm not choosing none of that that's low vibrating. I'm choosing what I'm choosing, but we can still feel it and it's heavy. So there's a part of us that's always at work. When we're choosing what we're choosing, there's a part of us that's at work shielding us from all that. And it's just exhausting, right? It's exhausting. That's what's happening. So for those of you that have been feeling that, and it's not like, oh, I've been overextending or exerting myself more than my norm. It's just like that. Why am I tired? This is part of why. This is part of why. Yeah, you've been waking up tired too. I know, it's like been crazy. So I have been saying it for a while, like, why am I so tired? So I'm grateful for the conversation, the insight that was given to me, when Spirit and I were talking. So yeah. Okay, God of indulgence. It's all right. Stop beating yourself up. A little indulgence in balance is healthy. So, a lot of us on our journey, we have that all or nothing. I know one of our sisters, this came up specifically for her. I know I've been there at one point, right? That all or nothing mentality. It's like, I got to be all in. And that lack of balance makes it impossible to maintain anything, right? Anything. And so, what we're being called to do is find the flow and the ease of it all. Find the flow and the ease of the journey. Find the flow and the ease of life. And I'm hearing that song, I think I love this little life, right? What can we do to love this little life, right? What can we do to love this little life? How can we shift the frequency from I'm grateful, but I'm not really enjoying this little life that much. I'm grateful, but I'm overworked and underpaid. I'm grateful, but this is an uphill battle, right? How do we shift from that? Well, number one, it's mindset, right? It is mindset. I'll be saying number one, but it ain't really no one, two, three, four. It's all number one, really. It's all just equally important. It's mindset. How are you looking at things? It's also about being able to find, aka understand, the why. We've been saying this all day, every day. Everything that happens in my life serves my highest good, right? But yet, when we're faced with something that doesn't feel good, that feels like uphill battle, that feels like work, like, where's that belief at? And if the belief is there, but we don't know the why, what's the process to get the why? Well, you simply ask, okay, Spirit, so why is this happening? Why is this my life? Why am I here? And this is not, we done talked about this, how we've been taught, some of us that raised up in religion, whatever the religion was, right? Whatever it was, don't question God. I'm grateful for Islam for several reasons, right? Before I just released religion, I've studied multiples, and that was the last one. But the whole permission to question God, my mom taught me my whole life there's no such thing as a dumb question. So I was raised knowing like questions are good. But then we had this don't question God. It was almost presented like that was a sin. In fact, we do question God so that you can get clarity and understanding. Because here's the thing, a lot of times religion teaches us to do things, and it's taught in a way to where we operate from a place of fear. Even if that fear is burning in an eternal lake of fire, it's still a fear. And fear is low vibrating. So, how can we produce a life that vibrates at the highest frequency possible if the root is existing in fear? It's just impossible, right? But when you ask questions and you gain clarity and you have an understanding, sprinkled with a whole lot of faith, then you're able to do things from a place of willingness, right? As opposed to fear. And sometimes those conversations with God are going to be different, right? Sometimes it's not going to just answer the question in a way where you're like, oh, that's the answer. It's clear. Aye, aye, Captain. It's not going to always be like that. Sometimes Spirit is going to require you to trust. You'll see. It's going to unfold. Let me give it to you step by step, right? Step by step. I'm going to give you an example of step by step. So one of our sisters in the soul family, she and I were talking on Boxer, and she had asked Jillian a few questions after a session, and she was just asking like about the views, because I always talk about highest light and love, right? Before I do any, like, our viewpoints, right? Not views like visual seeing, but I always call on highest light and love. And I recommend that everyone does that. And so being a shaman, the language is different. And so she, asked permission from Jillian to forward some messages to me. And I was like, it's the same thing. It's the same belief, just different wording. Like, we have the same morals, the same beliefs. It's just the wording, right? And so one of the things that came up was the duality, right? So shamans have more of a belief in light and heavy energy, right? It's no different from me, wording being different. Like, I typically refrain from saying light and dark, and I'm going to tell you why. That's something I've been doing from the very beginning, because when we look at the collective, right, oftentimes dark, black, you know, it's always associated with something negative, right? So when I started this journey, I chose not to perpetuate that. So I don't use the term dark. Now, heavy, low vibrating, right? But in reality, it's the same thing. It doesn't matter what word you use, it's the same thing, right? So anyways, we're having this conversation, and bring it back. Okay, thank you. So we're having this conversation, and the duality of it all comes up. And I was sharing how when I first started this journey, right? Like, Spirit had me all the way in the highest light and love. Like, there was nothing else, right? It was just highest light and love. And as my journey continued and I got to a certain point, Spirit then started to explain the duality and the balance and the necessity for every part of me, of you, of us, right? There is a space where every part of us is valuable. But where I came from, you know, I came from the city of I wish 'em would, right? I had a temper. I'm very sweet and kind and loving, but sister girl don't take no mess. So you mean to tell me that part of me got a place? Oh, see, that part of me gonna be in the lead. And so I wasn't ready to understand the duality, the balance, right? So I was totally tossed into highest light and love, and that's all there is, right? And then I was ready to receive the balance of it all, right? Which this is partially what this card is speaking of, that balance, that, so now I understand, right? Like, I don't go looking for trouble, but I also don't turn the other cheek. That ain't me. And that came straight from source. Like, you don't go looking, but sometimes you got to meet people where they are. If my words ain't going to do it and there's a threat to me and mine, well, when I went to the gun shop thinking I was just going to look with my mama, Spirit, the one told me to purchase a firearm, right? And my prayer is that I never have to use it, but I was told to get one, so I did. But that's that balance, right? Sometimes you got to meet people where they are. So we don't just exist in this place of fairyland, right? We find balance in where the world we're actually existing in, right? And the world we choose to create, right? So there's that balance. There is a purpose for everything. And here's the rule of thumb that I live by. Whatever version of me is required, I allow Spirit to guide that too. Because I told you, sister girl, she had a temper. Sister girl, she didn't play. And that's who I call the beast, right? Now, y'all see me posting stuff about me and my man. I say Beauty and her beast, but that's the beast. She sleep though. She's still here, but she sleeps. So we just keep her asleep. Okay, we just keep her asleep, but she's still here, right? So there's the balance, right? But I'm grateful for her. I just pray I don't have to wake her up no time ever, right? So see, yeah. So what you're being called to do is embrace every aspect of you as you walk into change. And sometimes those aspects of you that you may, your beast that you may put to sleep, may just be called to show up as a teacher, right? You may just be called to dissect her mindset and find little things that can reveal who you were, who you are, and who you're becoming to assist you on your healing journey, right? So as you elevate, as you shift, going back to the card that talks about the beauty, and you are perfect, whole, and complete as you are, there are no parts of you that are unworthy. There are no parts of you that are not valuable. So when you start to become that new version, aka your original self, don't down that version of you that had to be present in order for you to get there, right? In order for you to get there. And also, we've been talking a lot about the parts of us, right? So, oftentimes, what our healing has looked like is this is coming up, let me release it. And what we're doing is we're moving into the release and the healing without going deeper and exploring. Well, why do you feel like that? What is it going to take for you to feel however you today is choosing to feel? How can I support you? Right? How can I make you feel comfortable and safe? Those parts will talk. They will reveal, but we ain't talking to them, right? We're just, let me hurry up and get past this because it don't feel good. Let me hurry up and get past this because there's shame associated with where this came from. What you ashamed of? That was a necessary part of you. And when you grow into your elevated self, you'll find that there is value for that. Now, let's just go back to me telling y'all about my beast that sleep, right? Now, if I was ever in a situation and all I had was highest light and love, I'm going to just be turning the other cheek, letting them beat me up on both sides. I wouldn't have a beast to wake up, right? But the balance is beast stand sleep until spirits say, okay, wake her up, bring her in, tag her in, you know. But if I didn't have her, where would I be? Right? So I'm grateful for her. She can rest now. She don't have to be in the forefront or in the lead. It's not healthy for that. But I'm grateful that I have her and I know where she's at and I know how to utilize her when necessary. You know, so whatever that version of you is, you know, that you've put to sleep, how do you feel about that version of you? What kind of self-talk do you say about that version of you? Is it talk of gratitude, but understanding that there's a time and a place? Or is it go away, right? Go away. So, part of getting to know ourselves and part of loving ourselves is having an understanding of our why. You know, why did this happen? Why is this here? Why is this going this way? But also being able to be okay if spirit is like, just trust me, I got you step by step. Because more often than not, it's the just trust me step by step than it is like, okay, here it is, A, B, all the way to Z. You got it, now go. Right? Sometimes you'll get that clear answer, but it's just all about the conversation and understanding, even when it's step by step, there's a reason for that, there's a purpose for that. Because again, sometimes we can't handle it. I remember when I first started doing this work and I would receive messages, right? And I would be so excited to share because it would be some good stuff. And then spirit would be like, nope, that's just for you. The collective's not ready yet. And I'd be like, oh, okay. You know, like a kid. Like y'all can't see my feet, but I'm kicking my feet in frustration. But I really would be like, ugh, but I wouldn't say nothing, you know? It's like what I'm hearing is we get fed what we require and what we can handle. So sometimes we may be seeking a certain type of clarity and we're not receiving it in that way because it's not going to serve our elevation. It's going to do more harm than good. We're just simply not ready. Right. Let me see what y'all are saying. Um, hey, Diamond. Sharon said, bring them out when she is required. I'm here for it, right? And so a lot of times people get it confused. They think, oh, because all of anything is not balance and everything requires balance. Everything requires balance, everything. And for me, I've just thrown in the towel because I can recognize that I can be off. Like you know, I can be off. That's just the bottom line. I can be ready to bring her out and, you know, yeah, I could be ready to go grab something, a machete, and Spirit's like, just get a little pebble. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I know 3D self can be like, oh, oh, we going there? And it's like, girl, just get a pebble or get a paper airplane and let it pop them right here. Paper airplane, right? Not a big boulder standing at the top of a mountain, dropping it on their head. So that's why spirit guiding it all is important, right? So yeah. Um, oh, I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Diamond said, I love my sleeping bee. She's a real one, right? But when we present and we talk, like sometimes people think, oh, what is this saying? It's saying like it's all love and light. Nothing is all of nothing. And if we're existing in that way, right? And when I say the duality, I'm not talking about like certain things that some people associate with the opposite of light, right? Like I'm not talking about casting spells on folks. I'm not talking about vengeance and, harming people and taking away their free will. That doesn't exist in my balance, right? That's not a part of my balance because the only spell that I cast through intention is may you get what you give. And that's my prayer for everybody. So what you get is based on what you give, and that has nothing to do with me, right? That's the only one. It's up to you, right? But I'm gonna tell you, I done told you before. Somebody do me dirty, them. I be feeling it. Ooh, man, you get what you give. Like it'd be a whole different kind of oomph behind it. But still, I'm not taking away nobody's free will. You get what you give. That's between you and your highest source of power. I don't even got to sit back to witness it. I'm just going to cast that and leave that right there. Right. But again, it's not taking away nobody's free will. It's not being, so yeah, so that doesn't include that. I'm just hearing there's still some rules to live by to keep us clean, right? To keep us clean, to keep our karma intact. Because again, may you get what you give, that applies to us too. So if I'm running around doing things behind the scenes, taking away a person's free will, casting harm on others, what's coming back to me? It's a boomerang, and that's just the law of nature. I don't even have to say, may I get what I give, and don't nobody else have to say, it's just the law of nature. So I choose to treat people how I choose to be treated, right? I raise my children like that. You treat people how you choose to be treated. And if we stand in that, we're good. We're good. But there's not everybody's vibing at our frequency. So that's why the beast exists, That's why she exists. I need you to say, yes, a boomerang. Hey, girl. I didn't even realize you was on. So yeah, it's important. It's really important, really important. So there's 7 of y'all on. If you're getting anything out of the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, y'all. Okay, so I'm gonna go. Did I already go into this? You are wondrous being of light. There's nothing to change or fix. Well, we already talked about it, so we don't gotta go over that again. But you are a wonderful being of light. There is nothing to change or fix. Ooh, there's nothing to change or fix. It's just about putting things in order, putting things in their place, and being led on what to bring to the forefront and when. That's it. That's easy, right? It is. It's easy. It may not always feel like that. Your 3D self might be like, girl, who you kidding? But it's easy. What do you consider hard? Right? What do you consider hard? And what are you doing that makes it hard? And what can you do to make it easy? Again, mindset, right? Mindset. I was talking to one of our sisters about the healing journey. And one of the things that for her before, it just felt like a lot. It felt like she was doing a lot. And then it's like, create balance. It doesn't have to be a lot, it can be easy. It can be easy. Sometimes we're operating on this 3D timetable. And so we're looking at things and we're like, I got to hurry up and get done with this. I got to hurry up and do this so I can hurry up and become this so I can, right? We're always looking for the next big thing, right? And everything. I remember existing like that. And, the very first retreat, y'all. Now, I talk about the first retreat a lot. And I always notice that's not really the first retreat. So now I'm like, no, this is the first one. But the very first retreat, I just remember being so nervous and just so like, are they getting things from it? Like, like just in my head. And then Spirit literally said, pause. This was a dream of yours. This was something that you have been choosing to do, and now you are doing it, but you are not enjoying the moment. Enjoy the moment. Everything is fine. Like I'm sitting here guiding you. So why are you wondering if it's effective or if it's this or enjoy? And then a bird pooped on me, which is actually, I've been pooped on by a bird twice in life, which is actually good luck, right? I was in uh what school was that? I was at Patton Academy at the time. I was at my grandparents' house though, and I had on my uniform and a bird pooped right on my collar. And then at that retreat, a bird pooped on me. I actually took a picture of the bird poop that time because I knew what it was, but what it represented. And I was grateful to be pooped on by a bird. But yeah, we're just being called to pause and enjoy the moment, to get out of that timetable mentality, right? Because when we're there, it'll throw things off all the time. It'll screw us every time, put a monkey wrench in everything, right? Just flow. Just flow. And what aspect of life are you being called to adjust in any way that feels hard? And what feels hard about it? And why, right? These are the questions to ask. And why? Because, again, I'm going to tell you this. We've been taught don't talk to yourself because you're crazy. That ain't true. Talking to yourself is how you get uncrazy, how you uncrazy to crazy, right? Why you think we've been taught that talking to ourselves is crazy? Remember, we have been programmed. We've existed in an upside down place. So I would say everything we've been taught, take it with a grain of salt and connect with source for true clarity, right? For true clarity. I'm hearing talk to the person and I'm hearing T-Pain, talk to me, I talk back. Y'all know that song? So angel of families. The angels surround both you and your family at this moment. So there's two messages that are coming up off of this card. Number one is in the soul family. I believe the other day, yesterday, I was sharing how our ancestors, right, our divine spirit team, but especially our ancestors are saying, I'm here to assist. You are not alone. Allow me to assist you, right? Connect with me more, connect with me more. And even connecting with source more, but not in that space of desperation or fear. That's fine too, if that's what you choose, but more in the space of let's have a conversation. I'm not really picking up my line of communication with you for nothing in particular except to talk. What would you like me to know? What does it serve my highest good to know today? What does it serve my highest good to focus on today? Like really just conversation. Because remember, you can't trust who and what you don't know. So how do you gain a deeper trust? You create conversation. You create a path to get to know, you know? So yeah, and then the other thing that was coming through with this card is that you and your family are safe. There's a lot of things that are changing in this collective, right? And I've said this to some of you individually. I've said it in the soul family as well, but here's the thing. It doesn't matter what's going on outside in the outside world. You have the power and the ability to create your reality. Period. Period. So when you find fear popping up, what do you do? Do you start to adjust to accommodate fear, right? Or do you start to have those conversations and say, guide me? This is what I am feeling. We don't deny what we're feeling, but guide me. I'm choosing to exist in trust and faith. And this is what I'm choosing for my life and my world. So guide me, right? Guide me. And I'm going to tell y'all, when I was somebody, right? And they asked Spirit, does it serve my highest good to do X, Y, and Z? And Spirit said no, and they did it anyway. And I was just like, wait, I'm not judging you at all because I'm not, but I'm just like, how do you do that? I really could not understand. Spirit guided you and you got the answer and you did it anyway. Like I was genuinely like, wait, help me understand. I promise you, even as I say it, I can't express enough how it was not judgment, but I truly did not understand. Like you just got the answer from spirit. How did you not do what I don't understand, right? I don't understand. I'm gonna say I don't understand a million times because I don't understand. Like I'm not judging nobody's journey. Your journey is yours alone, just like mine is mine alone. But I don't understand. And the reason I don't understand is because I don't know the way out. Navigating this life is like being totally, imagine being in complete darkness, right? Plus, you got shades on, right? It's dark outside and they got blackout curtains everywhere. And you're literally attempting to find your way out or in, whatever the case is. I'm attempting to find my way out of this that I don't enjoy and into what I do. And then spirit is literally like, go this way, don't go that way. And you receive it, but then you decide, I heard you say don't go that way, but I'm going to go that way anyway. I don't understand that. And it's really not judgment. I just don't understand it. I know what my goal is. And I know I can't see myself there, but I know that spirit knows this route inside and out and what it takes to get there. So when spirit guides me, I am going to follow it while setting clear intentions of what I'm choosing, right? So the spirit knows where I'm choosing to go, open to receive an extra of whatever spirit's like, oh, you didn't think about this, but let me sprinkle you a little blessing, right? I don't understand it. That's what life is. We have these goals, we set these intentions, and we say, this is what I'm choosing, this is what I am not, right? So guide me. And then we're being guided. But when we're being guided, because in that moment, I'm either afraid, or in that moment, I'd like to have, or in that moment, I'd like to do. So, regardless of what spirit is saying, I'm going to satisfy myself in that moment. Whether it's I feel better because I am coddling my fear, I feel better because I was able to eat that snack, or, right? You get it, right? But when you think of it in terms of that, being in that dark space, not being able to see, you're in a maze, right? When you see it like that, what would you do in that situation? See, our lives are filled with the illusion that we're not navigating in a maze that's completely dark. We're submerged in complete darkness. That's the illusion, right? But that's the reality. We really are in a maze. There's no light. We can't even see our hand right in front of our face. And we've never been here before. We have no idea where we're going. But yet we're being led by our 3D urges, our 3D fears, right? And the influence of what society has said is the way. Now, we've had evidence that that's not true. We understand logically where fear comes from and what fear creates, right? But yet we still don't follow the guidance. Why is that? Do you not believe that spirit loves you? Do you not believe that God loves you? Do you not believe that your highest source of power has your back? Do you not believe that the universe knows the way? Right? Do you not trust in the Holy Spirit when you receive it? Right? Why is that? This is literally a self-reflection question as we're talking about self-reflecting, right? It's literally a self-reflection question because it's important for you to understand why you're operating in this way. I'm in complete darkness, void of direction, right? And it's a struggle. How many times did you bump your head? Oh, that shit hurt. I bumped my damn head going through this maze, attempting to find my way out. And then I said, I'm turning it over. I surrender. Spirit said, I got you. Turn left up here and then go straight. 5 knocks, right? You get it, right? Why wouldn't I listen? Why wouldn't I listen? Because some things we give greater value than others, right? The biggest one is money. When it comes to my money, I'm going to let spirit guide me when it comes to whether or not I'm going, whatever feels okay and comfortable. But when it comes to that, oh, that's a different story. I'm about to just, take over, right? I'm about to take over. And then that's when the 3D brain kicks in. And that programming goes out the window. And now we're attached to the fact that I can't take that chance. I'm not judging it. I just don't understand it, right? I don't understand it because I know with everything in me that if I follow the guidance I receive, Spirit has me. It don't matter what my outside circumstances look like. And trust me, my outside circumstances, they change, they fluctuate. But the one thing that doesn't change is my faith. Doesn't change. So as you're navigating through life, we're right smack dab in a season of shit just got real, but not really. This is what it feels like, right? Ain't nothing changed. Spirit still got you. You still in control. You're still able to create the life you choose, no matter what. But it takes that uninterrupted focus and dedication and commitment to being guided in all things. I don't care if the guidance is wear your left shoe on your right foot and vice versa. And I don't care how silly there's a reason for that. I don't gotta know the reason, but if that's what Spirit say, that's what I'm gonna do. Right? No matter what, you are still in control. There are no conditions on being able to create your reality once you know and follow the formula. Take your power back. And the first step to doing that is asking those parts of you that waver in your faith, what is it going to take for you to have unwavering faith? I hear a lot of people that feel like, well, God got to show me, Spirit got to prove it. And we were talking about this in the soul family that the proof comes from you. Oftentimes we don't stay on the path of faith long enough for the proof to come. And then we looking at God like, well, where you at? Where you at, partner? We looking like, Spirit, where you at, homie? And it's like, where you at? Stay the course. Let me show you. But me being able to show you is dependent on you. Your faith wavered. You went that way when I told you keep going straight, and then you just was like, I don't know, and yeah, just keep at it. Let me show you. Let me prove it to you. I guarantee if you stay the course, you'll be shown. This is how your faith elevates. But it starts with faith. Just that faith, some call it blind faith, right? It starts there. That's what faith is. And the longer you stay immersed in your faith, the greater your faith gets. Why? Because the proof becomes evident. And then you just like, oh, I know Spirit got me. It don't matter what's going on. Spirit got me. As long as I'm doing what I'm got to do in all things, can I say it again? Capital ALL, all things, not some things, not picking and choosing things. I can't guarantee what you're going to get doing that. But all things, listen, y'all, listen. I'm going to see what y'all are saying, and then I'm going to pull another couple of cards for us. Why did I just make them noises, y'all? Why? I'm telling you, what goes on? See, I be doing stuff I told y'all before, and then it's like, oh yeah, Nahkila, you got company, but this is just me. I be by myself. This is me 24/7. That's how come when I was talking about Simple Life, I loved that show, first of all, but that song they had, I just loved it because that's so me, so me. So I catch myself like, girl, where did that even come from? I mean, it was so random. I can't even tell you. My spirit just felt like making that noise, so I did. Do y'all do that? Where you just be making noises? Okay, what message you got for us? Let's see. Oh, Tarek. I was saying Tell and Derek at the same time. Tell Derek, I said hello. Thank you for being here. And okay, he will be the first one because I already did Deaja's from the win from last week. Let's see. I'm like, how long is this course? Because, geez. And I just heard however long it takes. Why is my son calling? Let me take this, y'all, because this son of mine don't call very often. Let me make sure it's not anything. Hey, honey. I did. Well, because it looked like you didn't have any. Was that not necessary? Okay. Well, then you don't have to use it, but it's there. Oh, wow. Yeah. Anytime you get anything like that, call USAA directly. Okay. I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna talk to you later though, because I'm actually live on Empower Hour. You're not the son that calls me out the blue. So I was making sure you were good. Okay, have a good day. I love you. Okay, bye. Okay. He's fine. Let's see. Anitra said, "Boo! I don't care for the answer, spirit. However, I knew it. I mean, literally, it is, and that really is up to you, right? It's up to you. So, listen, it's all up to us. Let me go ahead and pull these cards. Okay, thank you. That was quick. In the bottom too. Oh, I like that. Based on what we're talking about in the top. Okay. Ooh. So look, we got Angel of Guidance. It says a renewed. I'm learning how to not do my old lady squint when I'm looking at stuff. Did y'all notice it was a little better? I mean, you could tell I kind of moved it back, but I wasn't doing all that. Who laughed at me? Somebody laughed at me. It was maybe my niece or one of my kids. Was it DH? Somebody laughed at me. And I was like, okay, last night I went to the murder mystery dinner and I was like, listen, I'm not going to do the squint because, anyways. Um, Angel of Guidance. It says a renewed sense of direction and purpose will soon manifest. Now, when this card came up, it felt really, really directly connected to the question that you asked, Anitra. Um, we also we also have Angel of Space Clearing. It's time to clear old negative thoughts and feelings. And again, I don't choose negative, positive. I prefer low vibrating, but whatever resonates with you. And then we also have Angel of Support. The universe has heard your silent call for help. Okay, so this is actually really good because it is pretty aligned with the question in general. So the whole thing of it being up to you. I remember one time I was taking a sacred bath, right? And I received the message of what divine timing actually is. And what Spirit said, divine timing is up to you. So oftentimes we say it happens in divine timing, but that is, am I ready? Right, when I'm ready, that's divine timing. It's not like there's a god in somewhere on a throne saying, oh nope, you're not ready. Okay, you are ready, here you go. Right, that's not what's happening. It's, are you ready? Are you ready to receive it? Are you ready to take action? Are you ready to commit? Right, are you ready? That's divine timing. It's totally up to you. So when you talk about like how long does this take, it's going to take as long as it takes until you get to the point where you're like, okay, I trust, I know, right? And now I'm going to stay the course in all things in order for it to be shown to me. And when it's shown to me, now there's no reason for me to doubt. Being afraid is a normal human 3D response, but how you acknowledge and then react to that fear is the difference. It's not that I don't get afraid. Like I told y'all, my inner child was tripping one time. And when I actually spoke to her, she revealed, I'm scared. I'm afraid. Right. Because just because me right here today, this version of me is like, I understand, I know, but there's other parts within me that are operating in the background. And that particular inner child part was like, bitch, I'm scared. Right. So we acknowledge, we listen, but don't judge, right? We acknowledge what she's feeling. We ask the questions why, what's it going to take? And then we connect with spirit and we heal her, right? So then now she's on board and now she's fearless too. And anytime a fear or a doubt or a part comes up that's in that space, we repeat, right? We repeat, bring it up to where we are today, right? So going back to what's said, I can't stress enough the importance of all things, because oftentimes people will straddle the fence or they'll half-ass it. They'll do some and then they're waiting for that result or they're waiting for that proof. And that's not the formula. There is a specific formula to being in position of creating your life at will. The formula is all things, regardless of human hangups, right? So if I take like just a if I have a scientific formula and I just take just a tiny microscopic bit of something that's not a part of the formula, I have now changed the formula. And that's what we're doing every single time we pick and choose, every single time, right? So, again, as long as it takes, how long is it going to take? That's something for you to ask you. How long is this going to take for me before I get to that point of being able to flow in this with ease, right? And again, ease doesn't mean the humanness doesn't pop up from time to time. The ease is knowing no matter what pops up, when, where, and how, I'm committed to what I'm committed to. And it's up to me. So we getting through it. We getting to the other side, right? So I would recommend ask yourself that how long is this going to take? What does it require? Ask those parts. What does it require for me to get on board where I am operating in unwavering faith? And not even long enough for the proof to come, but just period, so that I can receive proof and continue to receive the proof, right? How long is it going to take? Okay, so angel of space clearing. So y'all remember when I started this, what did I say? I said, "Ooh, my vessel's like, child, it's time to clear this energy. It's time for a sabbatical," right? So, oftentimes when I'm feeling things to some degree, we're all kind of operating in the same space. If you haven't cleansed yourself with sage, if you haven't cleansed your space, I recommend you do so. Just reset the energy and recharge yourself. There's so much power in the recharge. No matter what work we do, no matter if we're not working at all, right? Sometimes just being a human being is work. So that recharge is necessary. And as I'm saying this, it's like spring cleaning. I was just telling my mom that I was gonna do some spring cleaning. And I've never really had like a time of spring cleaning, but we about to be in spring. And I feel like, my closet, it's not like it was when there wasn't space for everything, but I can see where, okay, girl, it's time to clear some stuff out and get it back to how it was. My cabinets below cabinets used to be, now it's not as bad as when my boys live with me, but it's starting to look like they be here often and it's just me, right? So it's just time, but it's not just the physical space outside of me. It's time for the inner space too. But with that being said, here's the thing. One of the ways that I can tell, like if you, I'm gonna say I, but you, like if you come around me and you see my space a certain way, like you can always tell when my energy is like, woo. And then when you see stuff a certain way, you could tell like, chickadee, it's time for a clearing, right? And that's literally what it's reflecting. It's like, okay, girl, you better go on and clear this up before we get out of hand. That's what's happening right now. So now it's time for you to do spring cleaning internally and externally. And you may look at your space and you may be like, it's like if on the outside, right? It's fine. But you open that cabinet and you see pots on top of pots, and that ain't they space. Like it's all fitting, but that's not the space you created for that pot. You just putting stuff any old where, right? So it's time for us to do some spring cleaning, some spring cleaning of our space and our internal selves. You may be called to get rid of some things, get rid of some things that you're not using. Stop holding on to things that are no longer serving a purpose just to say you have it. And this is in the physical and your energetic space. It also applies to you. Again, that identity, who am I? There's aspects that we are holding on and we're identifying as it's just not who we are. It's easier to let it go when you get to the bottom of what is this? Is it me, or is it just something outside of self that I'm holding on to, right? That self-reflection, self-discovery. And then angels of support. Again, you're not alone. You have support. You have support in the 3D realm, the 5D and beyond realm, but it's up to you to call on that support. It's up to you to call on it. It says the universe has heard your silent call for help. And now as I read that out loud, I'm hearing Ice Cube. Is that Ice Cube? I could give it to you, but what you gonna do with it? Right? That's what I'm hearing. So that's what Spirit is letting you know. I can give it, but what are you gonna do with it? I can give you the way. The truth and the light. But what you gonna do with it? Again, I ain't judging this question. I make faces, but there's no judgment, really. There's no judgment. I don't judge myself. I would judge me before I judge you. I don't judge me, so I'm really not gonna judge you, right? But I'm just like, what you gonna do with it? Because that's what just came. I heard it. I can give it to you, but what you gonna do with it? We be asking for stuff. We be asking for guidance, and spirit like, here you go, and then we get it, and we like, it's wrapped in toilet paper with boo boo stains. I am cool. Spirit like, that ain't boo boo, it's chocolate. Lick it. And you're like, that's boo boo. And it'd be the best chocolate you ever had. I know that's extreme, but that is sometimes how this works. It's for real. Like, we'll see it. And then spirit be like, just lick it, trust me. And not only is it chocolate, but it's magical chocolate, right? It's about to shift some shit. And you like, it's literally shit. And the spirit's like, no, trust me, like, You know, that's really the journey that many of us are on. And then we still looking like, okay, come through, God. And God's like, I did. Now you come through. You come through. Come through for you. You deserve it. You deserve ease. You deserve ease. And let me say this again. And then I'm going to go ahead and go into the reading part. When I say you deserve ease, right? It's not that your outward life shifts in a way that you may interpret ease to be. There is a lot of external shift that happens, right? However, it shifts in here and it shifts in here. And it's the way I interpret my experiences that makes it easy. And it's easy because I don't have to figure out how to go from feeling low to being high, right? Like, that's the ease. Life is going to life. Human stuff is going to be human stuff, right? But also, it's important for us to understand what plays in the background is also shaping our reality. So if I am afraid, I'm going to experience more things to be stuck in that fear state. Right now, if I'm in the midst of something and I'm feeling fear, and like we have that conversation with God where we express it, we turn it over, we're guided out of it, right? Now I have an opportunity to experience more faith state, right? So it's really up to you. It's up to you. You have been given the formula. Now reflect from this month till next month when we meet again. Reflect on, what is it going to take for me to exist in total faith? Total faith. What's that going to take? And then engage your parts too. See what they require, because y'all a team. Together, a team. So yeah. So that's it. Let me see what y'all are saying. Diamond said, I hear you, spirit. Back to releasing. Listen, y'all. Listen. I'm looking forward to all the moments we coming together. We about to be together for happy hour, and we about to be together for the day retreat. That's the most recent coming up, because sometimes, like, I be on Voxer with people, and then sometimes I be like, I just wish I could hug you right now. Like, it's just like the words ain't enough. And then there's times where it's just like, it's just time to come together and do that stuff we be doing together. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm feeling that now. It's like, I'm looking forward to this. You know, I'm always looking forward to it, but it just feels different energetically, if that makes sense. And I feel like it is the heaviness that I'm feeling, not just in my own energy, but in the collective. And when we come together, it's just magic happens, right? So it's time. I guess that's why I don't pick the dates. Y'all know that, right? I don't be picking the dates. I be guided on the dates too. So I guess it makes sense. It makes sense because I don't pick the dates. That's like the day retreat. When I got the date, I'm like, I was literally like, are you sure? This the date? This the date. Okay then. Cause it's a weird day. It's like a weekday, you know, like, but hey, this the date. This the date. So yeah. Yeah. Is there anything to pull from the bottom and the top? Okay, I was told grab the bottom and the top, and then we'll be done with the cards. Okay, so the bottom, oh, I like this. Goddess of the earth. An idea connected to imagination, creativity, and nature is coming your way. Oh, I like the little heart in the tree too. That was what was on the bottom. Ooh, and look at that. Okay, so as I look at this and I see that tree, her, right? And then I see those other trees or whatever they are back there. It don't look nothing like her tree. And when I saw it instantly, it came in just solidifying that whole thing about in the world, but not of it, regardless of what's going on with the rest of the world. We can still create our reality. Look at how they just all kind of fade in the background, but then look at her tree. It's tall, it's vibrant, right? Yeah. I'm hearing focus on yourself, like the little girl on Instagram. She was like, worry about yourself, but focus on yourself. Tune it out. Goddess of awakening. This is a wondrous time of exploration, romance, and creativity. I love it. I love it. I'm gonna show you the card. And also, I love it because it's what we were talking about. The getting to know ourselves deeper, right? But also it reminds me to talk to you guys about the pivot. Thank you, because I totally forgot and was going to talk to you about the pivot, the romance part. So there was this one time what had happened was, right, we were at this retreat in Mexico, and I was just being guided to do these little things and doing stuff, changing the weather. Y'all know, I believe it was a category 5 hurricane that we experienced. I didn't know the category until Denise told me. Um, but, anyways, again, I'm going to reiterate, some of y'all heard this. When I was guided to pick that location, it was not on the beach where the first Mexico retreat was. I had no idea. I was just told this is the spot. So I picked it. And yeah, I know why now, because had we been on the beach, it would have been a whole different situation, probably, obviously, if I had been guided and I didn't do it. We were guided there for safety reasons. And so while we're going through this, I be healing too. I'm not just the client, I'm the healing too president. You remember Biggie? Okay. So anyways, I'm being guided to do all this stuff. And part of what I was doing was changing the weather. You don't gotta believe me, his sister's on here right now that was witnessing it. And the whole thing was uncomfortable for me because I don't like to be that out in the open with the depths of who I am and what I'm capable of. Why? It's the 3D me. It's one of those things. It's like we can do the mission without revealing fully who we are. So me even having this conversation is growth. And so, anyways, I'm just conversations happening in here, and I'm speaking out loud, which is what I do. But there's people witnessing. But my eyes are closed the whole time. There's crying, there's pouting, there's all that. But guess what I'm doing? Exactly what I'm told to do. So there were parts where I'm being guided to command the weather. And then when I would command it, at first I use a soft voice, and then I hear, say it with some bass, say it with some power in your voice, right? So then I do that. And then when it happens, I'm like, thank you. And I hear, who you thanking? Yourself? And, it's just on and on. Like they really just putting me through it, making me do all it is, making me. Because remember, that's my free will. I act like I ain't got no choice when I'm guided. And so there were a couple of women that I was okay. If anybody had to witness it, I was okay with them witnessing it. Right. And so when I opened my eyes, oddly enough, the women that I'm okay with are the women that are there. But there was this whole process. And so Sharon had shared with me that there's a beauty in being able to witness me go through my process, right? And the soul family during group session, there was another moment where I shared some things, because there's times I'll be guided to ask them to tell me what message they have for me from spirit. And so I share some things, and again, they're able to witness my process. So in my session with Sharon, I was sharing how my inner child had been popping up in this fear state because of my connection with my partner, who is my twin flame. It is so incredibly like divine. That's all I can say, right? This goes beyond a 3D connection. It really is a divine connection, right? And so what that has been doing is triggering my inner child, who my wound is abandonment, right? And so through that, it's been leading me to a deeper healing, which is what twin flames do, right? We're gonna heal this shit, right? So anyway, so we're talking about this. But as Sharon and I were talking, and she was giving me what she was receiving, oftentimes, either when I'm talking to you or when you're talking to me, then there's like this channel that opens up. So I'm hearing you, but I'm also receiving. And I was feeling like this pivot, right? Like it's time for a pivot. And so after Sharon was done talking, I told her what I was feeling the pivot was, and she received a yes. And so part of that is what I'm actually going through now. So the content that I've been putting out, it feels stale to me, right? It feels like it's stale because it was rooted in where I was when I started my journey. And so this question was coming up, who was the first person who broke your heart, right? Because when we really think about our journey, and what shapes us. A lot of times that's what it boils down to. And I don't mean like in a partnership. I mean like the very first person who broke your heart, right? So for instance, I'm going to tell you when Spirit talks to me about the fear that comes up, one of the things that Spirit said to me was, your father's love was not the only love that you have, right? To compare love to, right? My grandfather, who, when I was a little girl, sitting on them stairs crying for the umpteenth time, my dad said he was coming. He didn't show up, didn't call, right? My grandfather told me one day, don't cry no more, I'll be your dad. And he was. And so Spirit was reminding, like, you also have that love. And that's the love that this is, right? It's that love. It's secure like that. It's unwavering. It's everlasting, that whole thing. And so that question of who was the first person that broke your heart, because that abandonment, right? And this is just in this realm, because the reality of it is my father was not the first person. This stems back from a past life for me. But again, everybody ain't there. So we just gonna start right here in this life. In this life, it was my dad. But for those of you that are there, what happened was when it happened in a past life, I carried that frequency continuing on my journey to this life. And then I had a father who existed in that same frequency. However, focus in this life, those types of things, it affects everything. It affected, all my relationships, including friendships, partnerships with, lovers, marriages, like, right? It affected everything. Even my relationship with my mom, like everything was affected. And so oftentimes, we aren't starting at the root. We get to the root, and now it's just one of those things where I'm just being called to shift, y'all, to do a pivot. Now, the thing that's not going to change is the mission is still the healing, right? But the content's going to shift a little bit. It's going to be more reflective of what I'm currently going through, what I'm currently healing through, right? And there may be a more of an inside look at my relationship with my partner. One of the things that Spirit has said to me is that we are going to end up doing some kind of work together. He's not there yet, but um, and also it had come to me a while ago that I would be doing couples retreats. Now, whether or not he and I are doing it together or not, that is something that Spirit has said I will be doing, and it's something I'm gonna do regardless, right? Whether we're together doing it or not. But yeah, there's just a bit of a pivot that is in the process. So yeah, so I'm just gonna be guided on what that looks like, on what the content will be. But it feels exciting and it feels good. And I'm super grateful for the session I had with Sharon to be able to receive that. So yeah. So yeah. Also, the other thing, I'm always open to questions that you guys actually have. Like if you have a question, here's the place to leave those questions. If you have access to me outside of just social media, send questions that you have. So then that way content can also be centered around that. I love your feedback. I like it to be more interactive, what we do as far as the social platforms, or we're actually answering questions that you have. You know what I mean? So yeah, so that's what's happening right now, and I'm excited. I'm really excited. It's great. It feels good. It feels really good. So like I said, the only thing that will change is the presentation. The mission is still the same. We healing, we growing, we elevating, we surrendering, and we moving into that place of being spirit led to create ease and abundance in all areas of our lives. It's still the same, right? Still the same. But with the focus of the who is the first person to break your heart and highlighting the love, it is going to be a focus as well on people that are choosing to attract love, people that are healing from what they interpret as a lost love, and people that are in love that's choosing to elevate that love experience too, right? And it's all going to start with that self-love. So that's the pivot, y'all. That's the pivot. So yeah. Yep. That's it. Let me see what y'all saying. Um let's see. I think I missed a lot of stuff. Barbara said that part of nature. Hey, Black Obsidian. Okay, listen, Black Obsidian. Tell me your name again, because I know we know each other. You used to come on here all the time, and it's been a minute. Welcome back, sis. So now you got to tell me your actual name again, and it's like it's right up in here, but yeah, tell me again. Sharon said, "Preach, Anitra." Oh, you make random noises too. Break out and smile. I know you do, Anitra. We be doing it together, and when you doing it, I be dancing. You don't see me, but I be we. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Diamond said, I hear you, Spirit, back to releasing. Uh, Sharon said, sent money for a general reading for my mentee, Sky. Hey, Sky, you can do it last. I'll be sending her the video. Okay. Thank you. And that's another thing. Share, y'all. Share. I've been asking you guys for the past few weeks, like, share Empower Hour. Share it and tag me. Like, when you share, and so far ain't nobody shared. I wonder why that is. Some of y'all be on here every single week, but yet you don't share. Sharon is Karen. Every time I say Sharon's name, I always feel like Sharon is Karen. But yeah, share. And get in touch with why you ain't sharing. You don't got to tell me why, but just, for yourself. Anitra said, how many past lives did you live before you came into this space of full surrender? Oh, who knows? Who knows? I've just heard you've been around for a long, long time. That's what I'm hearing. Nicole, I was gonna say Nicole, but it was between you and oh gosh, you weren't the first person. But then after I thought of her, and I know her face and her husband transition. But then after that, it was like, or is it Nicoya? So that's funny. It's Nicoya. Hey girl, hey. I know you just celebrated a birthday, so happy birthday. I sent you a happy birthday on your birthday, but I'm sending it now so we can all say happy birthday. Um, but yeah, this is my last one. And it's so funny because a lot of people be like, oh, I can't wait until I'm not coming back. And I was actually kind of sad. Like I was like, oh, why is that though? Shoot. I was like, oh, but hey, it is what it is. I'll still be here, just not in this form. So yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I know Derek is doing a general. So let's see. Let me just check right quick so I can tell you guys the order. And y'all, even if you're not getting a reading, don't log off, stay on because sometimes it be resonating. And y'all know I'll be pulling cards in between time as well for us as a collective. Okay. Um, let's see. I'm hearing you better call Tyrone, and I'm still hearing it. But when I first said Derek was first, I started hearing that. So I'm gonna see why that is. Anitra, where did you send your payment for Derek? Was it Zelle or did you use Cash App? Um, Really? I was too. And I was like, that's so like everybody, they're always like, I can't wait. And I'm just like, I was really sad. Like I felt sad about it. I guess I like this little life as a 3D person through all its ups, downs, and everything in between, right? Okay, okay. Let's see. Yeah, I guess that's what it means, huh? But I just heard thousands. Just now I heard thousands, thousands, and I'm just keep hearing thousands, thousands. You've been here since the beginning of time. That's what I heard. Um, yeah. Huh? Hmm. I think I love this little life. I'm gonna do it, but check to see where you actually sent it because I'm not seeing nothing. I see Sharon. Um, I see Sharon and I see Denise had actually she sent for lunch for my birthday. That was super sweet. So those are the only two that I'm seeing. Did you wait? Is this what it looked like when you sent it? Ashworth, the A in Ashworth is capital, the S in Scott is capital. I mean, you've been sending it forever, so I know you know. But I know my god brother like a year ago sent something to Ashworth Scott, but the S was lowercase, and that's not it. Oh, thank you, Nicoya. Yep, it was 48. Oh, okay. It was 40, my 48th on the 28th. So yeah. So this is for Derek. Why was the song Call on Tyrone? Why was that planned? What was that all about? You better call Tyrone. Call him and tell him, come on. You get your shit. I'm like, take both of these. Okay, so you have Angel of Space Clearing. It's time to clear old negative thoughts and feelings. But I'm going to tell you, when I was hearing the call on Tyrone, one of the things that was coming in is that you connecting. I'm hearing both with the little boy and the inner part of you. Like there's a part of you, the word I'm hearing that's a little more ruthless, and it's not like ruthless as in like Bumpy Johnson ruthless, right? Or like gangsters and mafias ruthless. It's more ruthless in your thought process, your way of thinking, and it's even coming in your faith. Like there's an aspect of you that at one time was a really big dreamer, and that part of you became very practical. And right now, you're not being called to release all of your practical because for you right now, that's just not realistic, right? And so this is like spirit baby stepping you. You are being called to get back in touch with that part of you that is a dreamer, that part of you that sees. Now I'm hearing "Sky is the limit," right? That song is playing. And then as I say that, it's like not even the sky is the limit, like it goes beyond the sky. There is no limit. You're limitless. And what you create is limitless. And speaking of creating, and I believe this came up before for you, it's time for you to get creative. Like you have spent many years doing what you had to do. Now it's time to get to what you get to do, what you love to do, right? That's where you are right now. And there's a part of you that is inside, right? That's like crying out for that and that's excited for that. And like, but there is this sense of responsibility, and it goes beyond just your hub of like, this is my house, this is my space. It's like it extends out. It has like spider legs, arms, right? And so you're just being called to get to yourself a little bit more. Get to yourself, go deeper within, and start to consider Lil Derek, who is right now showing up as Tyrone. Like, not really, but the song was getting us there. What does he love? Like, really, what does he love? And really, how much time do you pause and take a time out for what you love? How much time in a day, in a week, in a month, in a year, right? Where it's all your own. How much of you do you give to you where it's not divided, right? Now, of course, part of us, we're always dividing ourselves amongst those that we love, but it's important to have just that sacred space that's yours, right? That's yours, where it's just yours and it's not divided. It's not being pulled in different directions, but where you can just go into that space of creativity, right? And just, I'm hearing lather yourself in it, you know? And as I'm hearing lather, I'm literally seeing bubbles, like bubbles just all over, but it feels fun, right? Like how a kid would react to bubbles all around, like the suds from bubble baths. Like that's what it looks like and feels like. Not necessarily that bubble baths is what you're being called to. It may be, you may choose that, but that's not necessarily the message. It's just bringing us back to that point of when you were a child and you got really excited about things, right? And that excitement was just pure joy, and there wasn't a consideration for anything except the joy. There's a space that you're required to create for that for yourself. And then it says the God of the underworld, something which no longer serves you is about to end. Anything that's ending for you is because it no longer serves you. So this goes hand in hand with what's coming in as far as creating that space of you being able to find joy and you being able to I'm hearing live for you. And this doesn't say you're not going to continue to live for those that you live for, those that you love, those that you support, but you're being called to put yourself in the forefront too, right? In the forefront too. Because what I'm seeing is this visual almost of you being in the back and you're doing this and there's people in front of you and this is what you do. You use your entire being to push everybody else along, and that has become your focus, and no part of that is you. As far as like Lil Derek, aka Tyrone, none of that is you, right? It's like it has become you, it has become your identity, but you're now in a season where you're called to create that balance. That's going to always be you because it has become a part of you, but that's not the only part of you. So that part of you that has been neglected to a degree, that part is the part that's being called, you're being called to cater to that part while still doing this and being this, right? Putting that part of you in that whole thing. So I know there was something that uh Anitra and I were talking, and one of the things that came in was it's everything's going to be fine, right? And so one of the things that I followed that with was the clarification of what fine looks like. When a person says everything's going to be fine, sometimes our 3D mind will interpret that to mean, well, what I'm used to is not going to change, right? And that's not what fine means. Fine just means that even in the midst of change, if change happens, the change is going to be for your greater good. And in that change, you're going to move in a direction that's more in alignment with where your soul agreed to be and where you're being called to be in this season of your life. So that's what that means. Okay, I'm being guided to pull a card from the bottom. This one came in reverse, but it's the card we just got as the collective goddess of the earth. An idea connected to imagination, creativity, and nature is coming your way. So the reason why this is in reverse is because it's not happening, right? But that creativity, right? That nature, your natural state of being, if you could just pick something that you absolutely love, what would it be? What would you be doing? And what would the frequency of it be? Because you're not being called to take on something where it feels like a work to the bone, tire yourself out. This is like your joy state. It's like you put in your okay. I'm hearing you putting your time, but then the metaphor or the visual that they're showing is like someone who gets out of jail. Not to say life has felt like jail. I'm not saying that, but I'm gonna tell you what they're showing me. Like when you get out of jail and then you're just super excited to eat the things that you like to eat because you've been eating their jail food all this time, to do the things you like to do because you've been on their schedule this whole time, right? And to really just kick your feet up, shower when you feel like it because you've been on, right? That's what it's coming like. Like you're in a season where it's like, it's your time, right? Go live your blessing. I go get it, go live it, right? This is, you've been going to get it. Now it's time to live it, right? And that feels much different, even when you say it, the frequency of go get your blessings, go live your blessings, right? It's a much different energy, much different energy. And the living is of your creation. So what are you choosing to create in this season of your life? And I'm going to shuffle and pull one more card. What is the final that you like to leave, Derek? Oh, Is that the card we're taking? Because it did just fly right out. Okay. Oh. Goddess of the sacred path. Let go of logic and trust your intuition. I just told you that they telling you to do it, but they know you ain't gonna do it all the way. And also being able to separate your logic from your intuition, because sometimes it gets so intertwined. Like sometimes it's like, unless you've been practicing how to do it, they become one and the same, and it be logic, and you be like, no, but it's intuition, and I'd be like, no, but it's not. So yeah, it's important to really just clear, when we talk about clearing the space, clearing your energy field. And just, there's some exercises that I'm sure Anitra can share with you, just to clear that energetic space within, so you can really connect to your intuition. And not to say like you don't have the ability to do that, because I know you do. However, there are some things that in our lives can feel big and be big to us, and so therefore that ability to disconnect from one to tap into the other, they just get crossed. You know what I mean? So that's important to just be able to do that. But yeah, this is your season to live, to be in joy in a different way. Because in no way is it saying that life hasn't been joyous or life hasn't been this or that. But this is just your season of elevation. And that's what the elevation looks like. So yeah, that is your message. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. Let me know how it resonates. Why do I do that voice? I used to do voices, and my kid, well, which kid? Because it wasn't both. Was it Samaj or what? It was Samaj. He would be like, "Can you stop now?" And then when he said that, I'd keep going. I just keep speaking in that voice for a heck of long. It was so funny. Why am I like that though? Why am I like that? I'm surprised my kids love me as much as they do. I'm surprised. Because I would work my nerves. And I did work the nerves, but now they love it. I was like, how would you feel if you had a regular mommy? We'd be bored. So, yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And yeah, if you have access to Zelle, I prefer Zelle, because Cash App charges me fees too. Just I don't put it in right away, but they charge me fees off top just from it being a business Cash App. So anybody who has access to Zelle, send it for your readings here too. And then just let me know where you sent it. So thank you. Thank you. Um, so yes, yes. And then let me see. Sharon. How many of y'all are coming to Spiritual Empower Hour? It's here in Knoxville on the 24th. That's Sunday, March 24th. Did I tell you guys I went to the murder mystery dinner last night? It was really amazeballs. I'm glad I went. Like y'all know I'm a hermit. I don't be going outside. But I'm glad I did. I met some awesome people and had fun. Wait, where's what I'm looking for? Sky. Okay. Awesome. So this is for Sky. And what I was just doing, y'all that don't know, is I'm like disconnecting from Derek's energy so I can clear myself and my receptors, put them in a neutral state so I'm no longer receiving for Derek, and now I'm receiving for Sky. Also a good way to disconnect, like if you just talk to somebody and they had some heavy stuff they were sharing, and or if you're in a situation and you notice your energy being affected, just that's a quick disconnect. You don't always have to use sage to disconnect and clear. You can do it that way. Rub it down your body, down your arms, on your body, and then toss it to the earth. Okay, what message do you have for Sky? Both of these? Okay. So Sky, hi Sky. You have Goddess of Nature. It says you reap what you sow. Your dream is coming to fruition. I love the colors. Speak your truth. Activate that throat chakra. Throat chakra, activate. Don't be afraid to express the messages that you receive from spirit, from source. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. And also don't be afraid of experiencing the cycles in your life, even if they seem repetitive, each cycle is bringing a new level of elevation for you. So allow yourself to connect to each cycle as an individual cycle so that you can gain everything that you're called to gain from it. You are a star, right? You have star quality. And what that means is, I mean, it means a couple of things, but the thing that's coming in right now is, when we think in terms of like light workers and people that are here to create a shift in the collective, you are one of those people. And it's time for you to start owning that, right? Owning that and connecting into that more and deeper. And you do that by accepting yourself and knowing yourself, right? You doubt yourself, and it's time to stop. Like, stop doubting yourself. Stop second guessing. Just go with it, right? Go with it. And that includes the messages that come from you, right? And when I say from you, I mean the divine within, when you just know something, but sometimes you hold back. How she know this? Or how do I know this, right? It's time to just, be all in. You also have God of conflict resolution. You are being encouraged to walk away from a current conflict. And look, there's that star again. Mm. Some of the changes that you're experiencing in your life may feel sad to you, right? Rainbow child, you are a rainbow child. Anyways, you do a little research on rainbow children and see how that resonates. Come back and leave a comment on this video. Let me know how it resonates. But yeah, you're being called to get more in balance, right? Balancing your masculine and feminine energies. You tend to lead with your feminine energy, and some people think that you're a pushover, but you're really not a pushover at all. And then there's this conflict within your soul because of the fact that you're leading with your feminine energy at all times without the balance. But inside, right, there's like this raging fire within you. That's your masculine side that's like, let me out, right? And in reality, on your inside parts, it's more of your masculine. However, what you present to the world, it's feminine. But either way, there's not balance. So you're being called to balance the two. And the way that you do that is through your healing, right? Continue with your sessions with Sharon. Keep going with your healing. Keep doing your self-reflecting and whatever the things are that you're doing when you're at home. Also, when Sharon is guiding you, it is not just about the feel good in the moment, right? It's about, I'm going to call it homework, because some reason that's connected to you, homework, that word itself. But it's about the follow through, right? Because what you're receiving is not meant to be a band-aid, it's meant to be a cure. But based on how you show up for yourself is what determines whether it'll be a band-aid or a cure, right? And so a band-aid can only do so much, right? So if you're not following the prescription, it's not going to be a cure. Your third eye is strong. You got a lot of deep wisdom that's hiding up in there. So start doing third eye exercise, start massaging your third eye, start visualizing that cord going off into the universe, and whatever you identify as source or God or, highest source of power, like put that cord there and just be open to receive, right? Open to receive. Your crown chakra also, what I'm seeing, how we would do the pat your head and rub your stomach. You remember that? So that's what I'm seeing now. And the two chakras that you're being called to focus on are your crown chakra and your solar plexus, right? The more you allow yourself to receive from source with confidence, the more in your power you will be. Right. And as you find yourself in your power, that in addition to the work that you're doing will start to naturally create that flow of balance, right? That flow of balance, because some of the reason why you lead in an imbalanced way, when I say lead, like how you show up in life and with others, is because of a fear, and that fear is rooted in self-doubt, right? But as I say that, it's like there's again conflict within, because you're actually very confident in here and you actually know who you are. But it's almost like when I was saying, like, who is this Black Obsidian? Like, I knew who it was, but it just wasn't coming. And then when I thought, oh, it's this person, I couldn't, the name was right there, but and then it's like, it's Nicoya. But anyways, that oh, it's right there. That's what I'm feeling with you. It's like it's right there, but then there's a block that shows up. There's like a block where you're not able to just bust through and just let that part out. So you're being called to be okay. Be okay with being laughed at. Be okay with being judged. Be okay with even not being okay. You know, what I'm feeling as I continue to go deeper in your energy, I feel this grand energy that's here to do great things. And it's like you are chopping yourself down and you are playing small and you're being called to stop it because you literally judge yourself more than anybody ever would or could. Why is that? You're perfect, whole, complete, you're beautiful inside and out. Why are you still judging yourself? Right? Why? Why are you still judging yourself? Right? It's time to stop. It's time to stop. And you can fly now. You can fly now. Your wings have been mended. You can fly now. Because at first I'm hearing, but sister can't fly with just one wing. But both of your wings are available to you. You can use them. Just start practicing using them. Right? Start practicing using them, starting with that insight that you receive and spending more time in your quiet space, spending more time in the void, more time meditating, more time connecting, and more time being intentional about shifting, not just because you don't feel good emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, and you're choosing to feel better, but because you're choosing this for yourself, because existing there is best for you. And you're doing it from a space of self love and not a space of desperation. Be more proactive, less reactive. Anything else? Okay, pull from the bottom. This is your final card and the end of your message. And that third eye is just strong. You have God of the arts. The artist within you is about to emerge. Look at that. That's beautiful. Mhm. So yeah, and look at that throat chakra. Yeah, there's some throat chakra wounds there. And that symbol that I'm seeing on the throat chakra lets me know that there's been I'm hearing a past life and a generational curse placed on your voice, but the past life it was you, you know. You know how some people will take a vow of silence? Somewhere in your past life chart, you've taken one. And so it's time for you to disconnect all connection to that. And whatever trauma was associated with that, it's time to forgive yourself. I'm hearing it's not my fault, right? It wasn't your fault. None of it was your fault because even as I say that, I feel like although you aren't in connection with the past life experience, I feel like you are when I say it's not your fault, that touches the person you are today, right? There's things in your life where you've taken the blame or you've been blamed and it just became your second nature. So part of why you don't speak your truth or speak up is out of fear of misguiding, right? You don't trust in your own intuition out of fear of being wrong. You're not. You're not. In your art, whatever your art is, don't judge it, just flow. That third eye in all you do, even your art form, just flow, just allow it to flow. Let it be an expression of you and the things that you're holding inside of you, right? Let it just flow from you and start with setting the intention and giving it permission to bless you with freedom and whatever else your soul requires, and then allow it to be like that overflow from your cup that blesses others as well. You being you is the blessing. So that is all. That's your message. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. Yeah, I'm gonna see what y'all are saying, and then I'm gonna pull a card for us as a collective, and then I'm gonna see if anybody else is on for a reading. Okay, let's see. Mm. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you, Anitra. Thank you. Hey, Diaja. Your message was done first before we even got started. Let's see, I can't wait to send her this. The way you are spot on is amazing, gives me chills. Woof. Well, I'm grateful, girl. I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. Yeah, it felt like I was able to know her from doing that. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like I know her and I love her, you know. Like just that greatness that I'm feeling within her, but like the blocks, you know, like it's just like it like it literally it feels so simple. And this came I was on Vox with one of our sisters, and Lauren Hill started singing. It could all be so simple, but you rather make it hard. Like that's what it feels like. You know, it's like the veil is being lifted, and so now when I connect to the energy of others, like that's what it could all be. Like it's not that hard anymore. Like we're in this space where it is ease is just waiting on you to claim it. Like it's right there. Like we are ready. We're ready. It's just time to stop being habitual, right? And just emerge, like we've done enough of the work to where we can be like, poop, I'm here now, I'm here. And I'm here I am, baby. Doo-doo. Right back. Okay, that's Sharon, why I'm always singing with you. But anyways, y'all know that song? Who knows that? I'm gonna say, here I am, baby. Doo-doo. Right back in your arms. Yeah, oh yeah. What is it about your love that draws me to you? Y'all remember that? And no, this is not the first time. Whoever guesses it gets a free reading. Why I like giving away readings and stuff. I like giving shit away. Whoever guesses, who knows that song, first person gets a free reading. It's not the first time I've ever wanted. And I gotta sing it all together to remember. But the magic of your love just would not let me stray. So I just can't stay away from you. Y'all know that song? Who knows the song? Come on, somebody get a free reading. It's not in my power to leave you. You control the soul in me. Okay. Just can't stay away. Okay. Y'all don't know that song? Oh my gosh. When I was in junior high, we used to be them. We had the dance moves and everything. Y'all don't know? Ah. Okay, so let's see. Your ears okay though? Sharon said, LOL. Sang sis, see, she had to lead with the LOL. Sang sis, she gave me permission to just be me. Y'all ears okay? You good? But yeah, okay, I'm gonna pull a card for us as a collective. What message you got for us as a collective? And y'all, I'm so grateful. Thank you for being here and allowing me to serve you, because when I first got on, I was, so it must, oh, and this one popped up too. Is it this one too? Well, definitely this one and this one. What about all them that fell? No. Okay. But yeah, so y'all, sometimes I be tired. It be all kind of things going on. And then we get on and I be like, that my energy. Okay, angel of healing. The angels have felt your sadness and have shown up today to send you healing. Deja, this was in your card. One of your cards. Your reading was powerful. Just knowing you, the messages that came in, I'm like, oh, this is good. We also have angel of communication. Communicate clearly. Don't be afraid to tell it like it is. This actually came up on my reading I did for myself before I got started. And, I got a little situation where I kind of been super duper, I'm not going to say nice because I'm not mean, but I just been waiting for this person to get it together. And, yeah, we're at the point where, so I understood what that meant. Okay. It's like, it's been plenty of time to get it together. So it ain't together. So now what? Like, come on. Like, it's time for you to stop coddling a little bit. And it's time for you to just straight up say it like it is. How you sometimes, how, like I said, yeah, how you sometimes, be thinking and feeling. It's time for you to lay it out there. So, yeah. So enough about me. Let me tell you about you. Us, because it's collective. I'm telling you strictly about me, but let me pull it into a us thing. So angel of healing and angel of communication. So what's coming in right now is, even in your sadness, right? Even in your sadness, I'm just hearing you are not alone, right? And the whole thing of communicating is coming back to those parts, communicating to those parts, communicating to source. Many of us, we operate in this space that, let me do it. I'm going to do it on my own. I'm going to get through it. I'm going to heal it. And we're not even noticing how we are not calling in our divine spirit team, and how we're literally carrying it on our own. Like the same way we do as it relates to people, right? The same way we do as it relates to people, right? We're doing that with our spirit team. Well, we're not like, hey, I'm going through this. This is what I'm feeling. This is where I'm at. Like, where we just all on the table, all on the line, right? Don't be ashamed. Don't be embarrassed. Don't feel like, well, I know this, this, and this, so I can't do and be and feel this, this. No. You're being encouraged to identify with what it is you're feeling, express it wholeheartedly, don't leave anything out, and then turn it over. Everything. Because here's the thing, and this is the first time this has come in like this when I talk about turning it over and how, as humans, we're still going to have human things occur. We're still going to have human feelings pop up, right? But when we're turning it over, like putting it all out there, that's part of the release. That's part of the healing. Once I turn it over, I'm now taking it from me as a burden and I'm handing it over to source, right? Here you go. Take it. Now guide me on how to shift the part within that even came from. Right? So here's another layer of what the guidance is good for. It's not just good to create an external experience, right? It's also good for shifting and healing what's within. Oftentimes, when we're being guided, we're focusing on that external experience that will shift, but we forget about what's shifting in here. So it's like, as above, so below, as within, as without, right? It's like covering it all. So you're being called to be in tune and in touch enough with self to be able to lay it all out there. All out there. Because once you turn it over, it no longer has the power to lower your frequency, which lowers your circumstance, right? Now, what's happening is, are you following the guidance, right? What are you doing action wise or inaction wise that's shaping your reality, your experience? So, yeah. Now I'm hearing communicate, but I'm hearing it in, holiday. Did anybody guess the song? Nobody guessed the song yet. Okay. Is anybody else getting a reading? Because if not, I'm going to do another card for us as the collective and then pull from the top of the cards. I'm going to say the deck that flew out because it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And that one too? Okay, cool. So after I read these cards right here for us as a collective, if nobody guessed who that song was, then I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. 70 said, girl, I need to phone a friend for that song. Oh my goodness. Oh, you are? Okay, awesome. I'm gonna let me know if it's a general or if it's a question. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, so we got Goddess of Compassion. Self-criticism is diminishing your sense of self. My son went to South High School in Washington State, but your self-worth. So self-criticism is diminishing your sense of self-worth. Goddess of Compassion. This is what we got. And I'm hearing ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Okay, we got Angel of Relaxation. Let go of desired outcomes and you will get what you, they say won't. Well, we gonna switch it and say choose. This didn't even come up today. Because we've been talking about this for 11 years, how we release attachment of the outcome. We set our intentions and we clear, and here it is right here. When we release attachment to the outcome, it's not just the end outcome, it's releasing attachment to how is this step I've been guided to do going to get me to the outcome that I just prayed about, been manifesting, been meditating about. Right? Because oftentimes that's one of the reasons. Now, that's one of the reasons why some of us will be like, I ain't doing that. That ain't got shit to do with the price of tea in China. How is that going to get me there? Right? So it's not just the final outcome. It's that too. Right? Releasing the attachment, trusting and knowing that whatever, y'all, we done talked about this. When I pray and when I'm manifesting and I'm setting intentions, I'm having conversations with God. I'm putting it out there and now I'm turning it over because my path there, it's going to heal the things within me that's preventing me. Divine timing, remember, is up to me. is preventing me from having this. It's also going like it's just layers. There's so many things that it's doing. So the guidance is to cover all bases so that I am ready to receive that outcome. And all I can see from my 3D stance is I'm asking for this, I'm choosing this, I'm claiming this, right? However you word it, this is whatever this is. I'm here, I'm with it. So take me there. And then spirit is taking us there, but we're attached to how is this connected to that? Well, y'all, we done talked about God works in mysterious ways and what that actually means, right? What does that really mean? Sometimes it's a mystery. I was just sharing with our sister Anitra on Boxer the other day how was it you, Anitra? I believe so. Yep, it was you and I. When I look back and I look at how I made it through certain things, like I'll get a headache because the math ain't mathing. Like for real, I have literally sat back like, how did I really make it through this? And I'm looking and it's like in the 3D realm, like the math ain't mathing. And there's times I can get a headache literally attempting to be like, okay, when I was here, how did I get there? Like, how did I make it through that? Because when I like, it literally gives me a headache. And so I've just, hey, that's what they mean when they say God works in mysterious ways. The mystery is how the hell did that happen? Because the math ain't mathing. It's just not. So we're called to stop being so focused on the outcome. We trust and we know that the outcome serves our highest good. And every step we're giving, it's taking us to some prayer being answered, some manifestation coming into form, and we just detach and get out the way and let the mysterious ways that God work unfold. And then we got a story to tell. We got a story to tell ourselves when we starting to teeter totter back into that doubt state created by fear and lack. Y'all remember the message our sister Beth gave us? Lack kills us. Existing in lack, it kills us. If not physical, for her, it was her vessel. It because of her lack, she transitioned. But if it's not a physical death, there's aspects of us that are dying on the inside parts, right? And sometimes that could be worse, right? So we're being called to just know and trust and get out of the way, holding on to them attachments. I surrender. I trust. I know. Right. So yeah. And what about the goddess of compassion? Sunshine when she's gone. That's playing because, when she's gone, if you're not a she, if you a he, they, or them, put that in the place of she. That's just the lyric of the song. But anyways, that's you and your most divine self, you and your truest, most authentic self. Because at your truest state, you're not judging yourself. You're not judging you or anybody else. You're showing up in love. You're showing up in compassion, right? So it's time to show up for you in that way first. Because the only way I got to the point of not judging others is when I stopped judging myself. Because you, me, I'm you, we each other. We reflections of one another. So when I'm judging me, I'm judging you. And if I'm judging you, it's only because I'm judging me. It ain't even personal. It's really all about me. And that's how it is. So this is also a message, for those of you that sometimes fear judgment. Why? Because it says nothing about you and everything about them. That's a personal thing that they got to work out, you know? So it's just time for you to show up in that space, knowing that you were made in the image of God. You are perfect, whole, and complete, and there is nothing lacking within you. Even as you're finding your way back to your most authentic self, every aspect of you that showed up has value. Bringing it full circle to what we first got has value, right? Love yourself. And then let that cup be so full that that love overflows to others, So, Mama, did you look it up? Wait, Mama, you knew? Mama, how did you know? You knew? I mean, even though some months ago it was in the car and I was late. But tell me how you knew. Okay, you get a free reading. But I'm just like, how you know? Did you look it up? Because I didn't say you can't look it up. But did you look it up? How you know? Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Um, dang, Mama. I was like, wait, that is my mama. Yep, I see your little baby picture where you was on the horse. So that was you. Go ahead, mama. Oh, wait, no, but you had the name of the song and everything. Cause I was like, you might know, like in junior high, me and Kenda and Cosette and Tasha and Chasa, we used to think we was in Vogue. I was always Don. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How'd you know though, mama? Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and do Nicoya's general, and then let me know, mom, if you're doing a general or if you have a question. Sharon. I'm looking like that because that was going through my head too. Can they tell from how I'm like, yes, that's the song. In Vogue, Don't Let Go. Mm-hmm. Wait, um, here I am, baby. Did it right back in your arms. Oh yeah, oh yeah. What is it about you? Nope, nope. Don't let go. Nope, it's not Don't Let Go. Okay. It's not Don't Let Go. What is about your love that draws me to you? No, this is not the first time, baby, I've ever wanted to get away. But the magic of your love just would not let me stray. So you know that I just can't stay away from you. That's not Don't Let Go. The group, yes, but that's not the song. It's not the song. But see, I knew you put pieces together. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, it was in Vogue for sure. So now y'all got a clue, a hint. Yes, in Vogue. Uh-huh. What's the song though? This is for, is this Nicoya? Okay, this is for Nicoya. I'm for Nicoya. What message do you have for Nicoya? Stay away from you. Oh no. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. You see, I was sitting here, just can't stay away. So Anitra, it was can't stay away. Is it just can't stay away? It's good enough. Yes. Okay, what you got for Nicoya? Yes. Mama said I'm donating mines, baby. I talk to you all the time. Well, technically, you ain't get it because that wasn't the name of the song. But okay, we could donate a reading. She's like, I talk to you all the time. This is who I am all the time. What message you got for Nicoya today? Literally, I just heard tell Nicoya to stop waiting for others to pick up the slack. It's time for Nicoya to make a change in her own life, her own journey, as it relates to the changes that she's choosing to see. She has what it takes to go very, very. Why are you talking to me and not her? I mean, okay, but she has what it takes to go very, very far. You have what it takes to go very, very far. Wow, this is interesting. You saw how many times I shuffled. I'm hearing, don't let fear stop you. And then I'm hearing, don't stop the love. I'm hearing that song playing. It's like you're very confident and you know what you bring to the table, Nicoya, but there is a block. And it's related to the elevation. Like you have no problem with putting yourself out there, but it's just the elevation. Like you're literally doing everything right, right? You're doing everything right. So why aren't you elevating higher or beyond where you are? Because there's a block. There's a block. It's time for you to release that block. You know, there's things that are blocking us and they're related to specific things, you know, and sometimes there's a block and it just affects everything. This is a specific block. I'm gonna tell you what your cards say, and why I say it's interesting. You're gonna see. So you have God of the arts, the artist within you is about to emerge, right? This card came up. And then you have angel of guidance. Did this one come up? It feels like it did, but I could be tripping. It says a renewed sense of direction and purpose will soon manifest. No, this is the first time. And then you have God of conflict resolution. You are being encouraged to walk away from a current conflict. Okay, so what I heard instantly with that was a current conflict within, but there's also there's a little dis-ease when it comes to another person, a connection that you have. It's not full on conflict. There's just some in your spirit, right? Like some like the bells and whistles going off, like I feel something, I know something, but I'm not ready to face it yet, right? So I feel what I feel, and if I really allow myself to connect deeper to what I feel, I know what I know, but I'm just choosing to stand that. And they said, quit pretending, girl, quit acting like you don't know, because you already do, and all you're doing right now is holding up your train. Looks like I better let it go. Looks like another love TKO. That's what's playing. You already know what it is. And I know what it is, but I'm not being called to say what it is right here. Like, and not because it's not being called to be said in front of people, right? And this is the clarity coming from me, because this is a general reading. And power hour readings are public. It's not that. It's more or less because you're meant to go within and connect to what you know, right? That's why it's for you. Like, you already know what it is. You already know what it is. So just let it be what it is and move on. This has come up before, and it came up in the same way. Back when you were in activating you, it came up in the same way, where it wasn't just like, this is what it is, do this, right? But it was like, I knew what it was, right? And it's happening again. It's time to move on. And it doesn't have to be with like strife or like hate, or I'm even hearing disdain or anything like that. But it's just time. It's time. Make way for other things, right? The block, now I'm hearing the blocks are not necessarily a direct reflection. And this is showing up as another block. That other block was one thing. This is something else. But this one, it's not a direct reflection of what's happening within you. It's more connected to what's happening outside, right? And those that you're associating with, they, them, that one person that you're associating with, that it's time for you to release in this way. And finding your way may feel difficult when, and now I'm hearing again, sister can't fly with just one wing, but what I'm hearing is operate with just one wing. But it doesn't look like a wing like when we see angel wings. It literally looks like a chicken wing on a person, like how a chicken wing is like that. Like that's what it looks like the arm, like it, this is all you have. That's a disability, right? And so the disability is not in your wing, because once you let go of what's no longer serving you, this happens. And now you're not disabled anymore, because mindsets are being passed on, mindsets are being shared, energy frequency is being shared. So when you're in that close proximity with someone who is not on your wavelength, who is not elevated the way you have, it affects you, it affects you. And for now doesn't mean forever. It doesn't mean forever. It doesn't mean forever regarding like the staying or the going, right? But sometimes it's necessary, right? It's necessary. And now I'm being guided to share. And here comes the pivot. So, okay, this is what I mean. I was the only child. I entertained myself. I get entertained by me. And now I'm just used to being entertaining to me, and y'all get to see it. But anyways, and I heard my Aunt Julia, ha ha, Kiki. Anyways, so with my partner and I, when we reconnected in 2019, some of y'all know the backstory. We met in 2005 and we fell in love like literally less than 24 hours. My soul recognized his and I was like, I love him. In the middle of a water fight, we had went and got water guns at the lake in Silverdale, Washington. I'm like, I love him. And then my 3D self is like, you don't even know him. How you love him? But I did, and we were inseparable from like Every day we were together after that. But anyways, so when we reconnected, when Spirit guided me here, Spirit said with no expectations. And I know why, because life was life and for him too. And he had developed a wall and a fear, and we was not on the same page. And because Spirit said this is your forever person, and I had all the psychic insight on what it was going to be, I held on longer than my 3D self would have without that information. And I thought it was forever, and I walked away. And it was a total of 7 months that I was gone. And when he wished me a happy birthday, Spirit said, respond to that. But then when he attempted to make small talk, Spirit said, nope. And as bad as my 3D self was like, I was like, Spirit said no. So I ain't gonna do it, right? But when we did reconnect, that happened because of Spirit. Because like I said, I was like, I'm just gonna heal and get over this because I wish him well, but we ain't on the same page no more. And this is too painful. But during that time, that 7 months away, and when I was guided to reconnect, there was something that clicked in him, that being without me made him realize he's not choosing to be without me. And whatever fears he had, whatever ego was in play, he chose to release it and he chose to move forward. Right. And that's what we did. And it's been great. And so that right now doesn't have to always be forever, but when you disconnect from whatever it is you're being guided to disconnect from, do so not with the intention of it's going to come back around, but just do so like living in the moment. This is what is required now. And then whatever is meant to unfold will unfold however it's meant to unfold. And whatever it is meant to serve your highest good. Right. Okay. So God of the arts, there's even more creativity that you're being called to bring to the table, right? As it relates to your craft and your service. So not choosing to appeal to the public, right? But appeal to the souls of those that you're called to show up for. And you do that just by simply being you, right? Like what ways can you bring more of your art form to the forefront? And art isn't necessarily like singing, dancing, painting, drawing, not in those senses, but just your most creative self. What does that look like? What does that feel like? You're being called to bring more of that to the forefront. I'm hearing let your freak flag wave. Let it wave. Let it wave. Embrace the changes that have occurred within you because you've changed a lot. Just like I talked about the stale content, right? It just feels stale to me. It's time for the pivot because that's not where I am right now, right? I'm not there right now. I'm not in that space right now. It's always a part of the journey, but I'm not there. So those that I'm called to serve are not there. It's the same for you. Same for you. So just bringing more of you, who you are today, to the forefront. Anything else? Pull from the bottom, and then that is it. Okay. You have Angel of Manifestation. Why did I say it like that? I sound so like animated just now. I felt like a storybook person on a PBS station. Angel of Manifestation. Your efforts, determination, and perseverance have paid off. So this right here is both speaking to your current self and your future self, right? So this is a result after you go ahead and go through and what Spirit talking about, she already know you doing what you're being called to do. Like you've gotten to where you are now because you've elevated a lot, but now this is your next level of elevation, right? So it was because of this. And now where you are right now, you're being nudged into your next level of elevation. Ooh, did y'all notice how all them words came out and it just rolled off in it? Because it felt like I wasn't saying nothing, but I heard it and I was. Ooh, the feeling of all them words and how they came out. That was kind of awesome because usually I put two words together as one. But that time, that was awesome, y'all. Okay, excuse me. Don't pay me no mind. But anyways, this is what's coming next, right? This is what's coming next. And I'm hearing ain't no sunshine when she's gone. So when you're reaching your next point of elevation, right? Rejoice in it, celebrate it, because sometimes and it's been a while since you've had like this major of an up level, like you've been up leveling, right? And they've been little up levels that lead to a big, right? Like it's just kind of like, oh, I'm there now. But since you've had like a major, like we about to U-Haul some stuff up out of here, we're not just putting stuff in the trunk. We you hauling, that's the difference. That's where you're at now. But you can still rejoice and celebrate, and it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be painful. In fact, this isn't hard and painful. Not in here. It's just habit. It's habitual, right? And that is the hardest part is being able to learn and know how to operate in this new state of existing. But when you really get down to it, I'm hearing the meat and potatoes of it all, you'll realize I'm actually happier in this state. I'm just used to that other state. And sometimes that, we get confused. Is this pain or is this different? Is it pain or is it just new, right? Is it pain or was that just familiar, right? So deep dive, deep dive, deep dive a little bit. But that's your message. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. Now there's 8 of you still on. Have all of you given it a thumbs up? And how many of y'all gonna share this video today? Like, how many of y'all finna put this on your platform and tell them we go live for Empower Hour? Power Hour. See, that time it didn't roll off. Every first Sunday of the month at 4 p.m. Eastern. Join us next Sunday. How many of y'all gonna share? How many? Oh, it's my pleasure. My pleasure. And you was picking up what was putting down, right? What being put down. I see you put 3 thank you, so that says yes. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. Let's see. No, no. Spiritual happy hour is not just for women. Here's the thing. Long, long time ago, right? Long, long time ago, Spirit said to me, you don't just serve women, you serve souls. So no, it's not. Now, with our retreats where we stay overnight in the same space, as of right now, that's just for women, right? Here's another thing I'm gonna let you in on something. There's been some just how the process is with me and Spirit. And I'm gonna tell you, there's been some locations that look more like separate quarters, and then we come together and we right. And that is all because there's a few men that have been connected with me since the very beginning. But as things are right now, we usually stay in the same quarters for retreats. So not every woman is comfortable having a man stand there that ain't they man, right? So that's why it's been like that. But no, to answer your question, it is absolutely not. So if there's men that that would like to join us for spiritual happy hour, by all means, come on with it. Yep, you were picking up what I was putting down. Nicoya said I left my partner of 10 years at the end of January. We were engaged. I'm staying with my mom right now. That was exactly what it was about, your partner. So confirmation, right? For sure. Because it did come up before. It's been some years since we worked together, but it was coming up then. And I don't remember how it came up or how it was, delivered. But back then that's not the forever person, right? And it was time to make some changes. So you are definitely on track for sure, for sure. You said funny. You saw one wing and mentioned disability because I had my hip replaced in September. How are you doing with that? Our sister Leonia is currently recovering from hers. How is that now that you had it replaced? Oh, Deja, your reading was first. Like I did that before we even started in Power Hour. It was the first thing I did. I was allowing people to roll in. You remember? Because I remember when it came up, it was coming up more subtle. It like basically the delivery, how I was called to deliver it was more subtle than how I was receiving it, right? But at the time, that's what was required. It was almost like the seed was planted. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah. Oh, good, good. Uh, and everything is according to our timing, right? Like we, again, divine timing when we're ready. Sometimes when we deliver messages to others or when others deliver, it's literally a seed. Speaking of which, Sharon, when I had delivered a message to Sharon about her brothers being okay or going to be okay. And at the time, it was like, her brothers are fine, right? I was kind of the same way as I'm delivering a message, but she was the way too. And then when I had my spleen removed, I was in the hospital for like a couple of days, shy of a month. And when there was a situation where her brothers were sick, going through something, that message, then she was like, oh, she remembered, right? So it's just, you know, when it's now, a spirit gonna say now, right now, because we talked about the immediate action, right? But then sometimes it's just a seed. It's like, okay, just start to prepare your soul. You receive this, you're not ready, but right. And then when we don't have clarity on what that is this a right now thing, or is this a seed thing? We just ask. So yeah, but I'm just saying every little thing's gonna be all right. So I didn't when you first mentioned it just now, but spirit brought it back. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm grateful too. I'm grateful and welcome. It's good to have you. It's good to have you. I'm looking forward to seeing you more often. So yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Um, so yeah. Is there any we got 7 7 7 7 7 9 3 11. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna pull another card for us as a collective. Oh, Anitra. No, I'm not. Anitra, are you doing a general or do you have a question? But I am gonna pull a card for the collective while I wait for you to answer that. Ooh, was that Anitra's? Okay. Because it just fell right off. General. Wait, I'm asking you as I already started to pull your cards. Child, it's just habitual to ask. Okay, Goddess of Beauty. You are a wondrous being of light. There is nothing to change or fix, right? Were you here when we were talking about the elevation? Like elevating, being prompted to elevate is different from changing or fixing, right? Were you here when that came through? Because this is coming in to remind you, and it goes back to that feeling like, oh, this is work. When is this going to end? When is this right? Because to feel like, okay, here's the example they're using. If you had a car and your car had all these lights coming on, check engine, check oil, low tire pressure, lights you don't even know what they are. And then you're like, I got to go get this car fixed. And it's going to cost me $20,000. And then you get a new car. This new car is going to cost me $20,000. Which one feels better? Having to fix the car for 20,000 or getting a new car for 20,000, right? And the car for 20,000 is a much better car than the one you're driving. So, this is what you're being reminded to notice. Having to fix is not where you're at. Having to change who you are is not where it's at. You're just being called to elevate into your most authentic self. Elevate into your most divine wisdom. Elevate. And that's a much different upgrade, right? You're being called to upgrade you, but not fix it or change it, because all the things that you're being called to release aren't you. It's not you. It's all the stuff that was piled on you that you began to carry, right? So that message is coming in specifically for you to take it and allow it to operate as a mindset shift. What else? Oh, you didn't see how that flew. It literally flew out. I love it. Okay, Angel of Emergence. I don't even got to read it, but I know what you're saying because we just said it. It's time for the real you to emerge. Girl, didn't we just say that? Didn't we just say that? 22234. Look up 222 and 7. I mean, I can't make it up. That's all. Right? This is just, because sometimes, okay, let me tell you. You trust, right? Like you trust the messages that I get from spirit. You do. But there's parts of you that requires that proof sometimes. And this is it. And it's not even like in the forefront you, right? And it ain't personal. I don't take it personal. It ain't me, right? I just heard it's not me, it's you. Um, but anyways, this is your proof, just the proof that everything is aligned, everything is on track, everything is what your soul required at this time. She's just showing up, giving you what you asked for. Even in this state when you're not asking for it, there is a version of you somewhere that said show up and don't let up. That's all. Okay. Relax. It's time for your metamorphosis. It's time for your metamorphosis. And something that's coming in too with the channeling. Earlier when I was watching her live, I had the message come in. Remember to channel, because I can tell when it's you and it's this when it's channeling. And there were moments where it was not channeling, it was you. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? Again, nothing flawed in that. However, the assignment is to channel, right? It's an exercise to exercise that muscle so it gets stronger. And sometimes you aren't channeling, but you're not aware that you're not channeling. It just kind of flows, and it's like a switch that goes off automatically, and so that is also a part of the message that was coming in about exploring deeper who we are, how we operate, so that you're aware when it's happening. So when it's happening, you can switch the switch back off and refocus and connect to that higher, most divine part of you. That one, awesome sauce. Ooh, angel of pleasure. Take pleasure in the things you do. It could all be so simple. It don't have to be hard. That's not the words, but that's what's coming. Those are the words that's coming. Right? I get excited about the journey, right? And the question is, how can you get excited about the journey? What is that click that's where you just like, ooh, this is good. Right? Ooh, this is good. Like, what do you require to be there? Like, oh, this is fun. This is an adventure. Dora, right? It's an adventure. What is it going to take? Did you see that post I posted about whispering? The things that play in our mind, basically, the chaotic thoughts, whispering those things because it takes some of the power away. Look at that post. It's attached to the picture of me sitting in the chair, but it's a whole message. I was like, people liked it and stuff, but I don't even know if they read the message. That was the point. Pictures seem to get more eyes, but it's like the picture that don't nobody care about that picture. Read the message. So anyways, yeah. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm here. Here we go around the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush. Here we go around. Okay, so thank you. Okay, so there's an aspect of you is like, here we go around the mulberry bush, right? And what that feels like to the adult you, to this version of you, is we just going around and around and around. And this is what it feels like. We just going around and around and around. But when you were a kid, you enjoyed going around the mulberry bush. It was a joy, right? It was a here we go around the mulberry bush. Or even when you were on that little thing where one person would be on the ground spinning it around, and then they hop on while everybody else is on, and then it just spin us around until we dizzy. Stuff like that as a child. So you're being called to tap into that version of you, so that this round and round and round I go, right? That can feel joyous again, because the circles are necessary for you to get it, right? And even if it feels like I've done this before, I've been here before, when it's coming back around, it's either coming around again for parts of you that didn't receive it, for parts of you that didn't elevate into it, for parts of you that didn't understand, right? Or just another part of you altogether. But there's a purpose and a reason. Right. And if you can stop focusing on here we go around the mulberry bush and you focus on the feeling of joy. Like, how good does it feel when I elevate? How good does it feel when I step deeper into who I truly am? How good does it feel, right? Because there's been times where you've been in the process of elevating and it didn't necessarily feel good while you were doing it. Part of it is mind state, right? But then once you got to the other side, it felt real good. So how can you be in the midst of going around the mulberry bush while anticipating the good that's on the other side waiting for you as you elevate deeper into your most authentic self, right? What is that going to take for you, right? Let's see. What else you got for Anitra? I'm hearing got to get on the good foot. I'm hearing James Brown now. What else you got for? Oh, I just felt tired all of a sudden. I'm hearing let the music play. He won't get away. That song is what I'm hearing, but it's not associated to like the lyrics of what the song is talking about. Okay, put it together with why did I get tired and why did that start playing? Well, I understood the tired. The tired is, you know, you're putting too much brain power into it, right? You're too in here, you're too in your head, too in thought. Like get out of the head space, get out of the thought space, and remember God works in mysterious ways, and so do you. So just be open, right? Oh, like the feeling I'm feeling is so intense, but like the words are just like, they're just words because it's not something that you can receive and hear. It's something that's just like, you know how we talked about when you asked about the marketing, it's like, it's just a knowing. Like, it's just like, get out of your head. There's too much brain power. There's too much thought form. Just flow, be in flow. As kids, we were in flow. And it's done come in a long time ago that we really not here to teach kids. Kids are born to teach us. But what happens in this upside down place? They make us think that we're here to teach kids how to be, and then we perpetuate the programming. But in reality, kids come to remind us how to be. And because if we've had kids or we've raised kids, we've already done the programming thing. But guess what the blessing is? There's always an inner child present. And if we can just connect to them in their purest form, then those children can teach us how to be, right? I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid, right? There's a million toys that I could play with, right? We've been taught to grow up. I ain't growing up. Last night, somebody was saying, oh, there was this lady at our table, and one of the women I was with was like, well, if it's her, I got her back because she a cute old lady or something. She said, y'all know I be picking up on subtle things, and I could just feel two of the other people like right, and I'm sure it wasn't that, but I could like it. I felt it so deep. It's like I could see it, and the word offense comes in, but it wasn't an offense the way we identify it. But anyways, however, so then I told her after a little while, I said, she's just a cute lady. I said, because old is a state of mind. I'm aging, but I'm not old, and the guy and the woman, the same two that was kind of like a when it came up that my birthday was the 28th, the day before the event, and my 48th, and he's like, wait, what? How old are you? You look good. And his wife was like, yeah, you look good. You're beautiful. I was like, thank you. But I'm like, it's a state of mind. Like, I'm never gonna be old. I'm aging and I'm proud of aging and I'm grateful to age, but I'm never gonna be old. Ever. 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 Never, ever, ever. Right. And so it's coming in for you. Tap into your inner child. What they told you growing up consisted of, and the responsibility shift and all of this, that's a lie. That's a lie. Because when you buy into that, now you feel like, let me fix this. Let me again prepare for this. Let me plan for this. Let me do it. And when you're a child, right, you're guided by that part of you, that higher part of you that just is a part of you. It's not even a separation. It is just you. The God within is present and in the forefront, and whatever you're faced with, you can do it. Because you're connected to that, just that childlike wonder, that childlike confidence, that childlike knowing. So connecting to that inner child so that part of you can teach you how to be as you navigate through this part of your journey is so important. And let me give you your card and I'm going to shut up because that's it. That's it. That's all. It says, Angel of Prayer, Ask the universe and the angels for help and guidance. Not let me do it. Just guide me. Just guide me. And committing to, I'm doing it. Whatever it is, whatever it pertains to, I'm doing it, right? So yeah. Okay, now I'm told to pull from the top, but this one I'm not gonna um share. Oh, to share anything. I'm just gonna like put it out there. This one says the angel of diet and nutrition. Pay attention to what you eat and drink. You intuitively know what is good for you. The key word is you intuitively know. I said I wasn't gonna say that, but then they told me to say that part. What's good for you? You intuitively know. We had this conversation before too. We did. We sure did. I'm hearing get down on it. That's not associated with this card though, but get down on it is some totally different message. Get down on it is coming in because a lot of times things will come to you, you'll receive it, and then you either won't do it at all. It'll be on your list to do, but you don't get to it. Or you'll start doing it and then you'll stop. So stop doing that. Get down on it. Get down on it. Okay. Party people. Oh, what you gonna do? Get down on it. Stay consistent. This ain't what they told you. It's what you know. Hey, Spirit, what is serving my highest good to eat today? Hey, Spirit, what is serving my highest good to do today? Hey, Spirit, how do I get through this thing that's been thrown my way? Right? Get down on it. Okay, that's your message. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. Let's see what y'all are saying. I just saw you said I'm dancing in my seat, which is what I was just doing, which I do when you be singing your little tunes too, because we got tunes for days. Me and you, we got them little tunes for days. It don't stop with us. Okay, show up and don't let up. I like that. I don't even remember that, but I like it too. Anija said, yes, I was going in and out, and that message inside, I was like, focus, Anitra, just watch it again. But that's what happens. You know, there's parts of us that will resist. There's parts of us that's like, nope, I'm comfortable right here. Because for me to take this in, I'm going to have to change what? Once I know, I can't unknow, so I'd rather not know. Just watch it again. As many times as necessary to get it. And you said, come on, pleasure. I felt a click the other day and then I felt myself slipping back. I'm like, no, I clicked, huh? And that you left that before it came in about the starting and then stopping, right? Or the not starting at all, like it'll be on your list, but then it's like, but that's just the resistance. For you, it's really important to really get to know the part that's resisting, because there is a couple of parts within you that's resisting, like resisting big time. But there's the part of you that's like, I'm choosing this life because I see the evidence and I'm choosing because I know, right? Like, you know, there's a part of you that knows and you see. That's the other part, that part that, you know, you see, but there's that part that knows, right? That divine part of you that knows. So you're operating from multiple aspects of yourself. Now it's time to bring it all together and go to that highest self where it's like, okay, you know what? I understand the process of releasing the programming that is not healthy, that does not serve my highest good, and programming myself back into my natural state so that I then go from that program back into my natural state to that this is who I am, this is my natural flow, and I'm just existing in my natural state, right? Like, there's multiple parts of you that are showing up, but there's like huge resistance. But the reason why you are here even is because of that part of you that knows, and there's a part within your soul that's not going to let you stop. I'm hearing love won't let you wait. That's what I'm hearing. Anyways, there's parts of you, it's not going to let you stop because you know what happened in your past life as to why. This is a question to ask to allow yourself to get in touch with. What happened in your past life that prevented you from seeing the flow of it all, the beauty of it all, right? At what point did you get to this point? What happened? Because this isn't rooted in this life. Like you talk about religion and where you were, and yes, that's a real thing. It's like me talking about my dad being the start in this life, but that's not really where it started, right? That's not really where it started. That's just a byproduct of the frequency that I came here with as I continued on this mission because it wasn't fully healed then, right? So, what happened in your past life to where this started to feel like work? And this is something for you to go within, like go into that meditative state and just allow yourself to receive, whether it's images, whether it's right, just allow yourself to receive it, whatever it is, jot it down, jot it down. And then what I like you to do is from what you jot down, allow yourself to receive what that is that happened without using this. Turn this off and just use this and this. This is that third eye, which also was on one of your cards, that white bright light on that, and then go live and share it in the soul family. So there's going to be some things that come up, right, that are important for you as you share. Let's see. Doo-doo-doo. And he just said that to-do list. Sharon said, I'll take a general reading. Yes, ma'am.